this one's gonna get hot.
It is all Dallas right now. Custa coming back in, and on the other side is going to be their opponents, the San Francisco Shock. Taimu coming in, takes a nail-biter on Ilios. Harry Hook might be able to win this fight. Sleepy was ready for it. Ooh, that was a close call, man.
It's been a ridiculous Friday night already, 2 Game 5s, so now we're going to find out, will we see 3 Game 5s? Welcome back. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, here at the Overwatch League, and I'm joined by the full desk. We got Sideshow, Reinforce, and Zoe, our insider, is joining us once again. Zoe, ridiculous finish between Shanghai and Philly, but it's Philly who walks away with the W.
They did, but I think I lost 5 years of my life watching that, mainly the end of Junkertown, that OT push from the guys from Fusion, the 3K Dragon Blade we saw from Shadowburn, and 2 Diva Bombs going off, and in the end, Shanghai is actually holding it. That was insane. I loved it. Across the board, great plays.
It was pretty amazing stuff, and to catch you guys up at home, if you're just tuning in, yes, 2 Game 5s on a day we didn't expect to see any, and it all started with New York taking down the unbeaten Seoul Dynasty. Both squads now sitting at 5-1. Shanghai, well, they made it closer than anyone expected, including themselves, I have a feeling. They really impressed as they were able to force a Game 5. But at the end, it was Carpe and Shadowburn just a little bit too strong as the Fusion walked away with the victory. Now we have the final match of the day. The Dallas Fuel, who was a preseason favorite, comes into this one at 0-4, going up against an up-and-down San Francisco Shock lineup.
Yeah, this is going to be, this is exactly where Dallas Fuel has to turn it around. You know, they've had a difficult season so far, but as you said, they were one of the favorites. They need to win this one.
Johnny, what are you expecting to see today as we're getting into the final match? I feel like we haven't seen either of these teams at their peak performance quite yet.
No, but I think that Dallas Fuel, I think they're pretty happy, perhaps going back to basics later on in the series. I mean, bring back Taimu, okay? He wasn't feeling in the lineup that often before, so perhaps we'll see some Taimu, McCree, Widowmaker gameplay, be the X Factor, and maybe shut down Baby Bay.
Zoe, I know you got a chance to see the guys walking backstage. Was Dallas Fuel smiling?
They're always kind of smiling. I mean, come on. I don't actually think I've seen them, like, unhappy going onto the stage.
Only on Twitter.
Only on Twitter, they get really, really unhappy. But other than that, I think both teams actually look very confident backstage.
Well, we saw Dallas backstage. It's time to put them on the main stage. Are you guys ready? That's a cue. There we go. Let's welcome them to the stage. It's the Dallas Fuel.
I love the slow walk.
Seagull, such a classy man, leading the charge today for the field. Their Star Tracer effect right behind him. But despite all the firepower of this squad, they're currently sitting at 0-4. But it's been a tough schedule so far.
It definitely has. They've faced some really tough opponents, but this week is where they have to turn it around. They're playing San Francisco Shock and then the Boston Uprising, and given the expectations for this team coming in, this is where they have to win. Listen, at this point, Shanghai Dragons have won twice as many maps as Dallas Fuel have over the course of the season. That's crazy considering your expectations coming in here. And they've had some problems with the lineup. They have to balance their short-term plans with their long-term plans moving forward.
Zoe, what do you think has been the biggest issue for the Shock, or excuse me, for the Fuel throughout their first 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think during week 1 and 2, communication has been amongst their biggest problems. And luckily, this is a lot easier to fix than, let's say, a lack of game sense or catching up to a skill gap. So I feel like they just have to put the right structures into place, and I honestly think that's what they are doing.
There's a look at Coco. He is going to have to be on top of his game, as well as Chips, the Swedes. Will they be able to represent the squad? Johnny, let's take a look at the starting lineup, because there's a fresh face all the way from Australia. Custa is in the mix.
Yes, we're seeing Seagull and Costa actually brought back into the starting lineup here for the Dallas Fuel. And I can't help but think it's actually map dependent. We're going to see Ike and Valdez their first map. So perhaps we'll see Seagull on the Pharah on point A, perhaps up into the Junkrat on point B, and then on point C, Dallas Fuel has struggled. So Kusta may be going for the Moira pick, and we'll see some triple tank.
We'll see as this squad evolves. They love to sub. When is Taimu going to get into the mix? We'll find out a little bit later. But for now, it's time to welcome to the stage our final squad for the day. Give it up for the San Francisco Shock. Sleepy coming out. The support's leading the way. Dak right behind him, and then you got Baby Bay. This squad is 2-3. We've seen the highs, we've seen the lows, but I still feel like it's too early to tell exactly where they fit into this league's hierarchy.
Yes, and I'm looking out for the support who are leading the way. Dak and Sleepy they had a great performance versus the Boston Uprising when they came out and upset Boston Uprising, you have to say. So Duck and Sleepy versus a pretty passive Dallas Fuel. I think they'll have a lot of time to actually perform pretty well this series and get a lot of ultimate value out of their ultimates, of course. So I'm looking out for these guys to really step it up and take this series away.
Yeah, given that Dallas don't play so much of an aggressive style, particularly with their tanks, I think that's going to make a lot of room for Baby Bay as well. He has been a phenomenal player for this team when given the space, when his tanks are working around it, and he should have the room to really go off on this map.
Yeah, but I think this week Dante also made the highlight reels. He was definitely a standout player on that team as they took Oasis off of London Spitfire on Wednesday. And even though the rest of the series looked a bit one-sided, I do feel like they didn't go down without moments of brilliance from Dante as well as Baby Bay.
Remember the Shock, if it goes to a Game 5, they've been comfortable there in the past. A big win last week over Boston to close out our Saturday. Here's a look at the full lineup here for the starters on the San Francisco Shock. You guys highlighted all different parts. If you were going to look at the supports, the tanks, the DPS, what is their strongest suit right now, Johnny?
Well, we haven't talked about Nevix. Can I just highlight Nevix as well? He's one of the most consistent players on this roster as well. Former teammate of mine. And on that Diva, I'm actually looking out for Nevix to, you know, support the backline with the defense matrix, as well as Nomi, when Nomi makes space on the aggression part of things.
He's played support, he's played Genji, now he's playing Diva for the Shock, and he's doing a pretty darn good job. But let's talk about how this match is going to play out, looking at maps in particular. Sideshow, Johnny, let's walk through the 4 maps that we're going to see here, and who do you think has the edge in the first half?
Well, we're going to see Ike and Valde first, and I think this one favors Dallas Fuel, of course, because they have so much versatility, and I mean, they have Seagull and Costa in right there right now. San Francisco Shock, they haven't shown the greatest gameplay on the Horizon Lunar Colony as well. I don't think they've capped Horizon Lunar Colony
They haven't taken 2 ticks.
Yeah, they haven't taken 2 ticks. So overall, it's looking kind of grim, but they are pretty good on control as well as escort. So perhaps they can bring it to Game 5 and we'll go 15 maps in one day.
So you're saying Shock second half of the match, Dallas
No.
start.
I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance.
There's a chance, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Sideshow, let's talk about play styles. How do they compare?
Yeah, both of these 2 teams are some of the more safe or passive teams that we have in the league at the moment. Both of their tanks, they don't like to go too aggressive. And I think in general, the Dallas Fuel guys, the way that they set their team up previously has been that they like to make space and control a zone so that their star players of Taimu and Effect can really go wild. But they don't have Taimu in this starting lineup, so perhaps we're going to see something slightly different, a bit more aggressive coming out from them on Eichenwald. They need both of these teams, because they're buying space for each other, are going to have kind of clashes between their star players, unless one of them like ramps up the tempo.
So we're going to see both teams fighting for control of the map, but who's going to control the tempo today?
Yeah, you know, as Sideshow just mentioned, they're both known to play a little bit more passive. However, if you're looking at the match from the Shock against the Boston Uprising, on Dorado, when they played defense, they were very aggressive. They showed us a new kind of play style, which we haven't seen of them before, mainly on that second point where they really went in aggressive to defense, and that caught Boston Uprising completely off guard. They did not know how to handle that, and Shock actually, walked away with a victory on that map.
Well, Shock is coming into this one with the better record, but I think one thing that we all know here in the Overwatch League is the power of the fan base of the Dallas Fuel. They were preseason favorites. So many people came out to cheer them on. And not just here in LA. Throughout the tournament, we have seen the support all over the world, and especially down in Texas. Here's a look at what is going down. This is Max in Southside tonight. They are getting fired up at the Fuel watch party, and these guys are loud. So Dallas looking to make their fans proud. We'll see if they can get the job started right now as we go into our first map. Are you guys ready here in LA? Make some noise for our 12 starting players. It's time to set it backstage to Semler and Hex.
Thank you, Bucket. This is it. We are live with the last match of the day here, 3rd day of the week, Hex. And I mean, this is going to be an interesting one just because Dallas Fuel, they are 0-4. What is going on?
If you had Dallas at 0-4 at this point in the league, then I'd like some lottery numbers if you have that going forward. No one saw this one going on. San Francisco Shock have actually lived up to their name, shocked a few people in some of their upsets at 2-3, so sitting kind of pretty. I don't always love the term must-win game because I think a lot of people use it very early, especially considering it's a long season still. I mean, we have a lot more matches, but as far as the first stretch goes, the first 10-game stretch, Dallas is close to being mathematically eliminated. They got to figure it out.
Yeah, they have to step up their game, and they certainly have the talent. I mean, my boy Chip San is here for the Dallas Fuel. He's actually in the starting roster as well today, so I'm excited to see him play. But also just the rest of this team. There's so much to work with. Shout out to all the fans in the viewing party over in Dallas as well. That is sick. I love it. All the shirts, the jerseys, everything, and everybody who's here, of course, as well. But guys, we're getting the map fly through now. Just going to be taking a quick look and see where we're going to be going. With the point at the first cap, and then obviously with that payload push.
Yeah, of course, classic Oak Forest. And I think you're going to see Seagull on this map probably run the Pharah early on. That's why they brought him in to be the projectile specialist. This Dallas team is a team that ramped up in the offseason. They added a lot of new parts. You're going to see Seagull and Custa both in this game. I think Custa was a great addition to this team, a pure Zenyatta player. And Chips will probably have to go over. Maybe Custa will flash onto the Moira. He's been known to consistently play it, but early on Eichenwald, we have seen mostly Pharah battles. Later on, you can see maybe Seagull go into a Genji or a Junkrat. Those are also heroes that he's got in his pool.
Yeah, one of the big things, if you watch his stream, you know how deep his hero pool is. He's been styling for days. Hell, he was even busting out Bastion not too long ago. I mean, this guy, he's capable of so much.
He is one of the original Bastions, actually. Very on in the early Overwatch meta, there was several tanks and people couldn't figure out how to crack it, how do you deal with it. Then Seagull started running Bastion on like Legion Tower, everywhere. He's like, you know what's really good against tanks? Someone who does 30 trillion damage a second.
There you go, summing it up nicely. I mean, Seagull, well, hold on. They are on the attack. They are the away team, Dallas Fuel, and so there's still a chance for them to change up with their roster here, switch things. San Francisco Shock, they're pretty much locked in. No real shockers there. But over Dallas Fuel now, let's get into the thick of things, and it's looking like Seagull going to change it up. In fact, a very different kind of approach here coming in. Mickey with the Road, but also a McCree and the Junkrat.
Yeah, you often see Junkrat on defense because you know exactly where the enemy team wants to push in, so you can just kind of throw down all that damage on those choke points. On offense, it's a little more interesting to find the angles. The offense has more options on where they want to play. And the natural counter to Seagull's Junkrat right now is in the sky in Baby Bay.
Oh, but there we go. To start it off, in fact, with the headshot combo onto Dante, removes him from the equation fairly early on here. And in fact, he is still in this fight, getting healed up as well. You can see Chip San making sure that he's getting boosted, that he's getting healed, and mainly that they are doing the crazy damage right now. Pulling a fast one on Baby Bay. It's not looking like Dak is long for this world either, and this is shaping up to be a VEX map. The man has come on a mission.
Effect says he's going to put this team on his back. The giant difference there is where the different heroes die. Dante on the flank died, got flashbang, unable to get res. It's actually a smart choice by Dak to not go out there and try to res him up. Even if his team loses that fight, if Dak dies, then you're going to be so far behind in the Valkyrie battles on who gets that ultimate first. So you just saw San Francisco died in unordinary places, and they're unable to get resurrected off of that, whereas Dallas is able to bring their team back to full strength.
Just keeping tight together. That's what McCree wants, though. He needs to have bodies around him, providing a bit of a shield, providing a bit of a distraction, so that he can do this fan the hammer and keep the peace. The man, he does not want to be disturbed right now.
Okay, but I'm still going to have to talk over this. It is my job a little bit. I will disturb Effect a little bit. McCree's one of those very interesting heroes where he both provides protection and needs protection at the same time. He's going to be great at shutting down flankers on the side because Flashbang will absolutely crush you, Tracer or Reggie. This is a great ability, but he gets pressured out so early by Dante. Dante knows the whispers in this league that people are like, oh, he's just holding Sinatra's spot. But Dante, even if that ends up being the case, he's putting together a great resume of game tape.
Oh yeah, no, that was a real clever play there from Nomi and Dante, just hiding in the corner, waiting for the push. Effect had no idea. So unfortunately for him, his ultimate gets wasted, really just trying to create that space. Seagull now with the Riptire. Got that second, sticking down, needs to find a target. Somebody, somewhere. Opened himself up, and he goes onto the high ground and gets snuffed immediately. Nothing there for him, unfortunately, punching the air in frustration.
Sometimes that tire can be very tricky on what surfaces it wants to grip to, where the jumps go. It's just, it's a very odd thing to try to use through there. Transcend will come off. Chips will resurrect Seagull to bring them back to full force, but so far, this door hold for the San Francisco Shock has been uncrackable.
Yeah, it's been set up perfectly. Dante reigns supreme, and that's exactly where we want him to be. With that Tracer, right? Get up close, use so much damage so quickly. And really, Baby Bay, he's just dominating the skies. Effect hasn't been able to have the same impact. Although, oh my, never mind.
You know what? Give Effect all the credit in the world, but that's Babybay's fault right there. That is straight up greed to challenge a player of the caliber of Effect to that degree. He gets absolutely punished for it, and now without that over-the-top pressure, they're going to be in trouble. They did res him, though, so another barrage comes in. This door is giving Dallas all sorts of trouble.
They are having so much difficulty trying to break through here. Seagull will eventually snuff the Mucky, but Babybay, again, trying to get that angle over the top, just making sure that he can rain rockets in and force Effect back. Effect not able to get the proper angle to be able to drop this guy out of the sky.
Meanwhile, Dante is just sitting on the spawn camp right now. He's going to take down Custa, and that is demoralizing to not even be able to walk 3 feet outside your front door before there's a Tracer in your face. They've had no consistent answer to Babybay. Yes, they're killing him once or twice here, but the resurrections are there. Dak's able to hold on to this Valkyrie, so even if they get into trouble, he's going to bring them back. It's an interesting, I guess is the nice way to say, composition. Dallas Fuel doesn't seem like they have the cohesion. Mickey now is back onto his signature hero. See if they can find some ground here as Nevix out of the fight.
They cancel out some of these rockets, so it's not even like Babybay needs to get the kills. I mean, he is going to be able to pick up one there with the barrage, but when you're in that barrage, you know, you're fixed in position. Coco jumps on the opportunity, and they are finally making progress here, Dallas, but this took them so much time. They only have 2 minutes left in the bank here to make the play for the second point.
Mickey able to take down Dak was huge there because that means no Valkyrie up, no resurrection chance. Dak will die with that in his pocket. Meanwhile, Dallas didn't have to use their resurrection either, so going to have a lot of these abilities up. Effects, not trying to be sneaky, getting a lot of damage in. Sometimes you want to hide your McCree up there so you can get the giant Deadeye, but they already know what the score is right now.
Oh, 6 shots. That was a quick flick. There will be the follow-up, though. Chip saying we'll be able to get the res on Effect, so we may see his Deadeye, but there isn't a whole lot of room for him to work with here. He needs to keep Mickey in this fight, and Effect getting rezzed again. Babybay not letting him have any room to work with whatsoever.
It's knowing where your bread is buttered right there, and they will take the long walk off a short moat into the water there. And they have to completely reset. Both resurrections burned off for both teams, but if you trade like that, you win the fight. That's a 1 fight for the San Francisco Shock. Babybay is so aggro. He's in all these spots. He'll take all the free damage he can get. That one a little questionable, though, because he already has ult, so what's he really trying to charge towards?
Exactly. Now that's giving Dallas Fuel some ult charge, and that's not exactly what you want, but that he'll take. Custa, the headshot, nearly gets the one onto Chips as well. Chips very low, the body shot instead. And so Babybay, again, it's layer on layer here of defense, Hex, where, okay, you've dealt with my Pharah. Now deal with my Widow. See how that goes.
Yeah, just theory crafting why he even took that pot shot at spawn was so that they thought he was there, so that he relocates his angle right away and is able to get behind the shield and gets this Zenyatta right behind it. Babybay will get punished eventually, yoinked off and killed by Coco. And now this has got to be a nightmare for Dallas. They're being held at the door again. That door was not kind to them early on.
Well, this time they've really committed to the fight. The Supercharger already gone down, not going to get anything out of it.
Supercharger left at the wayside there. They used it just to pressure back San Francisco, but now you hear that impending doom music. 15 seconds left. Dallas has to complete this push to second point to continue their run on Eichenwald.
I like the positioning for Mickey, at least doing a little bit of damage here as they try to make their way out through the choke points. Seagull, prime placement for him. He's got the Rip Tyler as well. He just needs a little bit of room to work with, and sure enough, he's gonna let it rip. Dead on. Dante, not the best target, but still, you want to get those backline players. It's not going to matter in the end. They are going to cap that second point. Somehow Dallas sneaking.
You don't see a lot of big plays out of Orisa, but I'm going to show you something subtle that really happened there. They were waiting to stall that out. They had the D.Va over in the corner to come in over top, as you see Dak at 99%, now reaching his valve. The D.Va was waiting last second to get in there so they could get Resurrection. A little halt went over the top of the defense matrix, pulled the D.Va back, unable to stall that card.
6 style points for Coco. Orisa is one of the more fun heroes to play, at least as far as tanks are concerned. You have so many tools to work with. There's the self-destruct effect. He's dashing, spurs are jingling, and he just barely makes it around the corner.
Interesting switch here, Babybay and Zarya. One of Zarya's best points, not the entire map, but you see when things become a little more claustrophobic on maps, and those smaller maps like King's Row, that Zarya is an excellent pickup. They will add her into this third, and being so aggressive out here yet again. Chip's gonna have to reset. Coco looking for a little bit, getting knocked around in there. That's a battle of attrition if I ever saw one. Orisa versus Primal Freak Winston.
I just like that Orisa can be like, no, Fortify, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You want to bat me aside.
The best Fortify ever is when you're getting charged and you're just sitting there and you're like, nope, brick wall.
This is an issue though. 15 seconds left here on the clock for Dallas. haven't made too much progress on the third point either, and this is going to be the big moment. Coco almost got his supercharger again. Now will get the shield down, putting quite a bit of pressure here onto Dante, but he is getting healed up, but he does get the supercharger, and so this next fight will be key. And Effect, the D-Mech on Nevix, the follow-up kills, and he's just doing so much work right now for Dallas Fuel.
That is good in so many ways for Dallas because that's a fight they should have won because they had Valkyrie. Look what ultimate they still have ready for this final push. It is Valkyrie. Dak is nowhere near his. Baby Bay is the only man who's got a plan to stop this. He's going to have Grab. Grab comes out immediately. Where is the follow-up?
What we're going to see is the Grab getting chucked down, it looks like, although it may not really get too much out of it. Effect reigns supreme. Still at the top of the food chain. This man will not be displaced, and they are just completely melting down Nevix's mech. No real stall for him. This is the moment that Dallas are waiting for, that they've been hanging in there for, and sure enough, they will cap the third point. So true grit here from the Dallas Fuel, showing that they can hang in.
Chips made his name as a god-tier support on heroes like Ana, on Zenyatta. Those are his heroes that he's best at, but he is by far the best Mercy on this team. His game sense is so high. He's been such a professional gamer for so long. He knows when to hold ultimates, and the reason they're able to get that final push and make it look so easy is he knows now's not the time to panic. Now's not the time to pop Valkyrie. He is a man who embodies calm.
A very Swedish trait, in fact, some would say. The man might be the super Swede. I don't know, we'll find out, because they are pretty damn good at video games too. So now we're gonna get into the switch. We're gonna get the swap sides, and we'll see what San Francisco Shock have in store for us here moving into the offense. Whereas for Dallas, a little bit more of an idea of it, obviously. They're gonna be on the defense. Baby Bay, you know, he's looking a little frustrated there. I mean, you know, he did his part, it felt like.
Yeah, but all the pieces have to work together. You can have a great game and feel like you did a lot, but the numbers aren't always reflective of that. And so when did you get the kills? Did you die at the wrong time? And it's a game of seconds. So you can rock 5 gold medals and think that you're carrying your team when in fact you were the anchor. Overwatch is a game all about context. So you have to work that out internally of like, I did my job is not the right attitude to have in the Overwatch League.
There we go. Wiser words rarely said. If you're playing matchmaking, keeping them in mind. But we are going to begin here. 20 seconds left. I'm loving these little tidbits that we're getting here at the bottom right. 500 extra damage to Fuel's total. I mean, 500 extra damage, that's a couple of McCree's there, that's a couple of Mercies,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
It was all at the end because they did have that abandoned supercharger. At
Fair
the
enough,
you
yeah,
know,
fair enough.
You know what? I'm going to call it a zoning supercharger. Every alt can be a zoning alt, even supercharger.
Okay, Reinhardt. I've heard you, I've heard you. And so it begins. San Francisco Shock swapped out. Sleepy, unfortunately for him, walks right in. That could get some ult charge for Dak, healing him back up again. There's no real follow-up possible. But we will have Siegel on the Junkrat again to start. Effect just deciding he's going to be playing McCree now, and that's perfectly fine. More Effect on McCree.
Yeah, the Effect versus Baby Bay little battle is going to be the micro battle to watch. Whoever gets the best of that is going to be in great position here. Baby Bay getting super aggressive, decides he's not going to sit back. He will take the fight to Effect. Get Siegel for good measure. Hey, oh Baby Bay, it's a triple.
The point blank rockets, and the man just doesn't know when to stop. Well, he does, when they're all dead. In bits and pieces, preferably.
Stop, they're already dead.
That was brutal, Baby Bay. It looked good there. Effect managed to tag him 2 times in a row, and you're thinking, okay, Effect, he's feeling it, but then Baby Bay, the perfect positioning, death from above, right over all the squishies. And Dallas, well, I mean, it almost feels fair here. Dallas, they swamped the first point very quickly. Shock, they do the same. Now, the question is whether Dallas can delay here at the arch the way that Shock did to them.
I really like that style of Pharah versus McCree, though, because you're going to hit some splash damage, but unless you're hitting directs on a McCree, you're not necessarily going to kill him, or the damage boosted direct will kill him, but you're giving him so much time. Don't give him time. You're going to be much better at those up-close battles or medium-range battles on McCree, and you're bringing the pressure to him. Effect out of this fight. They've lost Nomi and Nevix, though. So it does seem like Baby Bay's getting some kills, but I don't think it's enough with all these tanks still alive on the ground.
Oh, perfectly done here by Baby Bay. Keeping alive, and really now what are you going to do? There is going to be the boost going out there. Chip saying, making sure that Effect doesn't die to the rockets, and Effect does have the Deadeye. Effect at this point wants to be holding on to that Deadeye to cancel out the Valkyrie, though, from Dak, because Dak is still holding on to his ult.
Well, he might use it after he sees the concussion. No, a concussion comes on, because that means that Pharah can't relocate herself, and so it's just dead meat in the sky. But if Dak's not in there, it's definitely not worth the trade there, because you're just going to get resurrected out of it. A missed pulse bomb. Dante will save his own life by recalling himself back onto the cliff, and he's putting on so much pressure.
He's putting on one hell of a show right now. Quite a bit of damage dealt, and he is, well, I mean, what he needs to do is mine the payload, make sure that it doesn't get out of control over there, that the tanks will just keep feeding him ult charge. So Baby Bay from on high, yet again, Dante will cancel out the supercharger. Coco not gonna be too pleased about that, and getting collapsed on. Baby Bay and Dante right now working as that 1-2 combination punch.
They bring Coco up in a very odd spot, and they're unable to really take advantage of it. The pressure continues. This Dallas defense has been cut in half just by the aggressive nature of how Shock is playing it, and that kill feed turned into the color of a dreamsicle. Shock absolutely crushing second point, and you have to question if Dallas is even going to be able to come out and battle this.
They are thinking about it for a second. Cheeky halt there from Coco, trying to suck somebody into their demise, into their death. We got the barrage just getting chucked out there by Baby Bay. Baby Bay gets caught by Seagull. Will it be enough, though? Should be able to get rezzed up by Dak if he needs to.
Well, Effect is not the stall hero you want on the point. Somersaults are distracting and beautiful to watch, but not quite the stall mechanic you're looking for. They give up a lot there. I don't think they ever really had a realistic chance of stalling out that second point, and they fed over a lot of ult charge to the other side. However, Baby Bay is just going to take that ult charge and stack it onto the Zarya. One of the best ultimates of the game. I said time again, a good grab will win you the fight, win you the point, and in this case, the map.
It's so much fun to watch, too. That's the Wombo combo. That is the classic right there. So Nevic's kind of dancing here on the payload, trying to stay alive, trying to stay in this mech, and some great healing coming in from Dak, making sure that he doesn't go down. Here's the self-destruct, and is he going to get anything out of it? Yes, he does! Custard effect gone, obliterated. And this is the opening now for San Francisco Shock to just push this point onto the third and end this first map.
It's a crazy last point because it doesn't look like it's wide open, but once you go down those stairs, it's so hard to get back up. You can't just jump over the ledge. You have to take the long way around. Because of that self-destruct, they're unable to get the heroes out in time. San Francisco Shock will complete the map.
So now, well, you may be wondering what happened there with Dallas. Where did they go wrong? And we might find out a little tidbit here because it turns out we have sounds of the game with the Dallas Fuel.
Junker now, back right. Divan point. Set. Nice. It's no hype at all.
No hype at all.
Well, that's what went right for Dallas, obviously, on their offensive push. But now, Dallas in a situation where the best they can hope for here is a draw. To do so, they will have to hold first point for 3 minutes and 54 seconds. A Herculean task.
Yeah, whatever overtime gets chucked in there as well. So you're right, Hex. This is going to be a bit of a long ask, but if anybody is capable of it, the Fuel certainly are. We've seen magical things from these players before in the past. And while Shock now, this is going to be the main thing. They need to figure out how to wipe the smiles off of the Shock players' faces because those guys look way too cheerful over there. Effect, I mean, do what you did in the first point on offense. Just completely shut them down, and maybe Dallas stand a chance. Ah, I like it. The observers, clever, watching for the trap. Not going to pull a fast one on them. We know.
We'll see if Effect can do enough to make sure Baby Bay doesn't come in over that side. He wants to kind of roof surf and go in over there, and then he wants to get behind the second tower, and Baby Bay just, maybe the healing wasn't there for him because that was like 4 body shots in a row. Not even the headshots were going to take down Baby Bay. But Effect distracted. Dante comes in and finishes him off. Meanwhile, both of those heroes resurrected. Dante the first to officially fall.
Yeah, changing it up, changing up the angle for the attack. Holding very far forward, and that has succeeded in bleeding a few seconds off the clock to start things off here for the Fuel. And so a chance for them to reset here. Coco with the refuel, or with the refuel. I mean, fair enough, refuel,
Yeah,
sure, but also the reshield.
Trying to get a little bit of pressure. That is a doomed push about to happen right there. I mean, gets a little bit of healing. Nomi down. They're going to lose their second tank. Dante was trying to do perhaps a little bit of backgabbing, but Seagull on the cleanup crew. And maybe San Francisco taking this for granted. They started with a little shy of 4. By the next push commencing, they're going to have about 2.5 minutes to push. Granted, they only need a tick on the point, but that stalls it out even more as Baby Bay gets taken down. It's very possible they're looking to bank ultimates here and hope that they can out-pressure them, but given what they've done here, Dallas's economy was very decent in the first half of this map, so they're also banking ultimates.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Look at these guys. I mean, it's really only Seagull and Coco who are left out of the party, but they're about to show up. You know, they're the guys who stop by the supermarket real quick, pick up that 6-pack. Now they're going to be knocking on the door with their ults, because we are about to get the 6 ult combo here for Dallas. San Francisco Shock, you know, it's Dante. He'll have his pulse, and so we'll see if he can find somebody to drop it on here. He's kind of dancing on the edges right now, trying to pull Dallas out of position. There's the pulse. Not going to get a kill, though. The fortify there for Coco, keeping him alive.
Yeah, very difficult to take down a pretty high health Orisa right there. Chip's gonna bring Effect back up, and the self-destruct and Tire will combine to push San Francisco back. And now, after all is said and done, they get pushed out. However, this is a huge trade. Chips used his Resurrection, a Valkyrie mechanic. Doc still has his up. That essentially should give you an 8-6 fight. You will have 2 people you can bring back to life if you yourself can stay alive as Mercy.
Exactly right. All eyes on Dak here. When does he decide to pull the trigger? Oh, baby, babe! Oh, it's Effects again. Not a shred of respect for Baby Bay, and that's going to be frustrating. Nevic's looking for the flank with the micro missiles, but it's not going to be happening.
They have popped their Valkyrie. Baby Bay now back into this mix, going to try to find the angle on the man who has made his life absolutely miserable. In effect, a later Transcendence is going to be a better Transcendence, but Effect!
There we go, buddy, there we go. Quad kill in the end, and 3 of those from a perfectly timed Deadeye. No way for Baby Bay to get out of harm's way. And, well, I mean, you're picking up Dak and the other on, it's like icing on the cake.
Oh my God, I'm speechless to that. San Francisco has squandered every good push. I'm really concerned with how Baby Bay was playing. The reason they got their first attack was he was aggressive. He was all over Effect. He's fighting at mid-range, and he's not learning his lesson that, yeah, Effect can hit some shots.
Oh yes, especially when he's got an ult fueled. You know, auto hit, aim lock, and beast machine of a right punch. Dante, though, will finally take down Seagull. Mickey staying alive on the point, though, doing his job. And Dante, again, not long for this world, and that is perfect for Mickey. Saves the boost to cancel out the barrage, and the cleanup duty is here. Dallas Fuel have showed up, and they are on fire right now. And you even have Seagull just chucking a Riptire towards the spawn.
Comes down to one thing leading to another. Effect getting that crushing play on McCree led to Chips having his Valkyrie for that next fight, so Effect did get taken down, gets a second life. One hand washes the other. If you're a fan of defense, as I am, in all sport, that was amazing. They full held for 4 minutes, not even giving up 33% on Eichenwald.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's actually pretty nuts. Great Effect, man. That guy was beast, but it means if you are going to have a perfect hold like that, we got the flashy plays from Effect, but it means that the entire team has to rally and play flawless Overwatch. That's what we got to see. The teams are still tied up 0-0. We'll have the second map after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. squads in all of Overwatch, and coming into the Overwatch League, the team just got better. Our first team to the stage, it's the Dallas Fuel.
The goal of our team is to be #1 in the league for the first season.
Dallas dominates the second 2 points in the ways. Easy.
저는 한국에서 온 작은 꼬마지만 그래도 보여줄 수 있는 건 최대한 많이 보여드리고 댈러스 퓨어를 더 높게 성장시키겠습니다.
I mean, a team's goal is always to win it all. As though, to us, it's very odd to think of anything other than first place.
Dallas will take it. Dallas Fuel will come out on top.
I want people who watching me be happy. I want to show the good thing about esports. Like, that's my goal.
I love Mickey so much. That's, you know, just be happy, guys. Just be happy because, hey, you are a Dallas Fuels fan. You have good reason to. They have the perfect start here, Hex. They're up 1-0. Oh. They're not up 1-0. They just pulled off the crazy defense. It feels like a win. It feels like it should have been a win, but it is still tied 0-0.
It is a moral victory. In the moral victories, they are up 1-0 because that was an improbable hold. Now, we did make a little change recently in the Overwatch League. We're not kicking it off on Escort, we're kicking it off on Hybrid instead, so that when those draws happen, it's a little more easy to follow. Remember, at the end of 4, whoever has more map wins, regardless, is going to win the set. So this one could end in a 2-1, something along those lines. We could have another draw. Who knows? We're going up to Horizon next, another map that is drawable. Of course, Ilios and Junkertown not going to be draws.
Not so much. And so if we do go the distance, which I hope we will, because these guys right now, they're looking very even, that is going to be a plenty of opportunity. This is one map in particular that gets explosive. If a team is evenly matched with its opponent, you can go, you know, what did we see the other day? 8-8 or 8-11? Yeah. It was like some mad scoreline where it just kept getting flipped back and forth. And so, you know, anything is possible going into Lunar. A lot of varieties and strats as well. This is really one of the more exciting maps that we have.
When the map score starts looking like an American football score, you know, you've had a day without defense. But I love Horizon Lunar Colony ever since it's been in. You see in different regions, they all have different metas. It's just been so different than the other maps on what heroes you want to play. A lot of switch-ups happen. I mean, I'm kind of a flavor of the month trending kind of guy. So like Moira, as long as Moira's being played right now, I'm extremely happy. We've got Sombra back to the mix. You know, I mean, just maybe a little more Doomfist will come out. We saw some Doomfist earlier, some stall tactics. So Horizon Lunar Colony, on the moon, there are no rules and everything can happen.
Man, Doomfist in particular, I wish that we could see a bit more of. He's always such an exciting hero to see play.
They spelled my name wrong on that poster. It says Lexigrams. That's not right.
Well, maybe you should get on the horn. You know? Hey, Jeff. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Jeff, baby, we got to do this.
Wish I had a poster in the game. I do not. Not yet. Anyway, San Francisco Shock on the defense. This is a standard defense that you're seeing a lot. Orisa's really come into vogue on a lot of different defensive points, and it's because that shield uptime is so much higher than Reinhardt's, because Halt is able to lock people in place, and not only set up for the hooks. We talk about Halt and hook a lot, but you lock people in place, you expect that your Widow's finishing that shot as well.
Exactly right. This is a really kind of catch-all strategy, it feels like they're starting to see here from San Francisco Shock. You got that one-shot hit, well, I mean, basically between Dante on the junk and Widow with Baby Bay, right? You get that one-shot kill potential, just like you get to do tremendous amounts of damage if Dallas Fuel wanted to go for quad tanks. But what are you making of what you're seeing here to start things off, Hex?
It's good for the Goose, it's good for the Gander. They're just going to mirror compositions here, play out offense and defense on the same. I would imagine that the first switches would come out of the offense because it's almost impossible to try to penetrate this shield as a Widowmaker in the background, but it does kind of lock them in a corner. They can't peek around that shield. While the rest of the team rotates around, Effect is going to take the high ground and see if he can find anything. That is a pretty good deterrent right there.
Yeah, that's the kind of, you know, shake it off effect, but right now Baby Bay has an advantage of positioning, and he will have that high ground to look down, hit those shots. Sleepy finds the pick on Chip Cyan, and that's pretty much going to grind this push to a halt. Sleepy with the follow-up. He's hitting these volleys right now, man. The back line is dead for Dallas.
Should have got out of there. They should have absolutely gotten out. Did they think San Francisco was just going to hang out and let them wait for Chips to rejoin them right below them? That is not how they play. As soon as they lost Chips, they should have started retreating. They simply looked into their doom, and then they lost 3 on a stagger kill. It slows them down so much more. It's a miscommunication there.
Yeah, they've been ground to a halt, and a minute has been spent already here on the clock for Dallas. Curious to see if they do decide to change anything up. It seems like they're sticking to their guns for now. And that Orisa shield, you're just going to see it melt into oblivion so quickly, with Dante just pumping out damage and mines. Chip saying it goes to both dead. And once again, Dallas Fuel, they find themselves without their healers.
Without their healers, they got to get out of here right now and not get staggered again. What are you still doing up there, Zeagle? He got trapped in the corner. Dante welcome to the 7th level of hell. He is cleaning up the rest of this team.
Sick work from Dante.
Look, it was kind of weird because they got caught in that trap early, then Dante's mines are bopping them all over the place, so that retreat was actually, as bad as it looked, more acceptable for not happening than the previous one. They were just stuck in a rock in a hard place, and that rock in the hard place was littered with grenades and landmines.
We don't have a single kill for Dallas Fuel yet. Just need to point that out. It's been 2 minutes of fighting, hard fighting right now, and we have not had a single kill for Dallas. And so they've got to start coming up with something here, because this is looking very solid right now for San Francisco on the defense.
It's going to be Valk v Valk. They're going to hopefully try to get Dak out of position, get a snipe on him, then take the whole advantage of that fight going forward. Both of the infrared sights have been popped, so no one's seeing through walls. A preemptive Valkyrie from Dak will come in, but Dak goes down immediately to Seagull. That means no more resurrection, no more chain healing. Meanwhile, Chips has it. This is their fight. This is their time. They have to go and take it.
Yeah, Seagull decided enough is enough, and we need to actually have an impact here. Those squishies, I'm going to get on them. I'm going to blow them to bits, and now my team stand a chance at pushing this point, although they are getting repelled. Chips ain't even going Battle Valk right now, just trying to find a kill, trying to deal with Baby Bay, but Baby Bay continues to hit headshot after headshot, and Dallas Fuel, they're just trying to hang in there for now.
You might wonder why he's trying to shoot into that Transcend. He's just trying to get his infrared sight back up again. You do damage through a Transcend, it just hits so quickly you don't see it. He is popping onto this Orisa. Costa has to be careful too. Look, he can see through walls, he knows where you are, no peeking. Sleepy will finish what Baby Bay started, and again, both supports fall. 40 seconds on the clock for Dallas Fuel's offense.
They reign supreme now. The Shock right now, this is unbelievable how dominant it has been. Baby Bay and Dante both right now are just completely trouncing Dallas Fuel into the ground. And still, it remains to be said, Seagull, the only man who has gotten a kill right now on the team, or an elimination.
I mean, it was a good kill. They had every advantage there. They had Doc down into Valkyrie. They had Chips still up in Valkyrie, and they were just a little uncoordinated on their push going forward. Last hit, this tire could end it if he finds the right angle here. Seagull gets another kill, though. Nomi out of this fight.
Baby Bay, though, will take down the supercharger, and so the damage boost is gone. Dodging left and right, that tire, not gonna get it. Seagull there to cancel it out with a mine. And Seagull now just doing so much damage to the Shock. We are into overtime, it is ticking down, but one tick has been picked up now for the Dallas Fuel. Nomi will get overwhelmed, point blank, and Doc not long for this world either. This is what Dallas were waiting for. It took them 4 minutes and change, but they have captured the first point and can now move on to the second.
Being carried by Seagull's very capable wings. He was the only one making a huge impact there, finishing kills, and they're gonna have nice ult advantage. I was very worried there towards the end that Dak might end up using his Valkyrie. He did not. It is the only thing they have left to save them in this next fight. Dak pops it right away. If you're Dallas, back out a little bit. Back out, let them burn their Valkyrie. Go back in when you've got yours.
The pressure is up right now. That energy is flowing, probably shouting as well. You can see Seagull got the cam right there, and point blank onto Dante. Back-to-back big kills. Baby Bay is still in the fight, but Seagull, he is still cleaning up. He is the dominant force right now for Dallas Fuel, keeping them in the running.
That was such a cool little tech there by Seagull. Not that mine, but the fact he put his back to the door before he popped his ultimate, lets him see what's behind him before the tire gets there, knows that he's gonna get that Diva, and that's his best bet for a kill. Seagull has gone off on his Junkrat.
Sick work again with the mine, forces Sleepy out into the open. Effect can pick him off at will, and he does just that. Seagull and Effect right now, the two of them, between the two of them, you gotta give it to Seagull though. This man is a real hero. He continues to shut down Dante and Baby Bay at will, and overtime for the first point. And with 3 minutes left on the second, they get the job done. But it was, let's keep it in mind, right? It was like 3 minutes of absolutely nothing. And then Seagull finishes this first half, 17 limbs, 12 final blows. Like, the guy was like, okay, I'm just gonna take over now.
There's the Seagull show. Caw, indeed. The thing I don't love, just, go back to it, why it took them 3 minutes to be able to push into that, is they're running the exact same composition, but the other team is in a superior position. You don't have to read the Art of War to know that high ground is generally important in battle. And when you have the high ground you're shooting down, it's also really good to shoot Junkrat stuff down. Gravity is a factor even here on the moon in the artificial gravity, so that's why they had such a big advantage overall. Seagull just found the angles at the last second there. Very nice of them to be able to build up ults and snowball that into last.
Yeah, I mean, even the runner-up, in terms of DPS right now, it's kind of Dante, and he's only got 11 and 6. So, you know, Seagull really decided to be the force of nature here. And guess what? Guess what? If you are a Fuels fan, he can play Junkrat on defense as well. He can stay on this hero and just keep reigning supreme if he wants.
I mean, they ran a defensive composition on offense, happened to work out eventually for him, so that was great, and now they're just gonna not even have to switch heroes.
Now, there we have it. So countdown has begun. We'll be getting into the action in 30 seconds time. And it's looking like, okay, we may have some variety coming out here from San Francisco Shock.
Well, this is one of the offensive strategies that we've seen employed on Horizon Lunar Colony. Sleepy is a very, very good Sombra, in fact. So he's going to go around the side, probably hack the main pack, then leave, go around, try to put some pressure on the back point, eventually get his EMP up. You want to hack that main pack, though, so that everyone can stay nice and healthy, although you have to balance that with Dak trying to get his charge as well. The rest of the tanks are going to try to swoop up here and just knock him off the ledge and create chaos. Then Dante is going to try to feed in the back like a piranha, and from a mile away, Baby B is going to be trying to hit some shots as well.
Not wasting any time at all. That was very quick with the translocate. And now they know what to expect here, Dallas Fuel. Sleepy going to be working his way around the back line again with the translocate, again with the hacks. He's been spotted, though, and he needs to stay alive. Can't get clipped immediately. Way too close. Unreal.
Little too close for comfort there. Sleepy playing a very odd style of Sour, like super aggro. You generally want to have a translocate into a place of safety where you can get your own pack, but he's using it to just dance around. He is a ghost, and they have no idea where he's coming from. Trying to hit some shots here. Baby Bait does end up getting a little bit more charge, but the first to fall is Nomi, the second to fall is Nevix. That is 2 tanks down, 2 tanks out. That is very likely the end of this push. Baby Bay, though, gives him a little hope for some momentum.
Just keeping the pressure up. I mean, now you're going to have a Zenyatta running all the way back. Baby Bay, I mean, you mentioned it. Hex, that high ground, kind of important. Chip San will use his Resurrect to bring Custa back into the fight. And Baby Bay, there's no real way to challenge him because as soon as you peek around the corner, he's just too damn quick. Rips Effect's head off.
The only one who could even possibly challenge him would be Seagull. We've seen Jake play a very defensive Junkrat where he challenges the high ground like that, but they don't have the tank play to be able to challenge him. He's playing very safe, and that is a huge kill. Baby Bay does fall to a hook. Dak still about 15% away from a resurrection. Chips falls, holding on to Valk. This point, for all intents and purposes, is now San Francisco Shocks.
It's done. Seagull getting caught as well, not able to get anything going with that Rift Hire. And so we will have 2 ults in play here for Dallas Fuel. Custa, 60%. 60% towards his trans. Shouldn't really be seeing anything changing up here for Dallas Fuel, but that was very quick. You can see the big difference here. 6 minutes on the clock here for San Francisco Shock to take this point.
It's snowball time. EMP is going to try to find both the supports. At the very least, a Zenyatta you'll take out of the fight, but you'd actually like to get the Mercy as well. EMP comes up on both the tanks. They know that they took the tanks out in the last fight. It worked out well for them. However, Dak dies during that fight. They needed him alive so he could resurrect this.
In fact, man, the real hero. That is the high impact kill, and he somehow gets out a lot. Never mind. Nevix was there to catch him around the corner. Thought for a second that he was really going to get to ride off in the sunset there. It's not going to happen, and we will have the reset.
They got both tanks down early. The biggest problem with Dak dying early is it lets Chips just hold on to his Valkyrie. And so many times the Dallas Fuel have outvalued the San Francisco Shock when it comes to those Valkyries. The resurrections are getting full value, full healing out of it, and just making up the difference in the ult economy because of it.
Buddy, that was kind of a bit close there for Nomi. But he will be able to back it off. He will be able to survive. And now we're going to have the reset here with Sleepy. Thanks to that hacked pack, we have another EMP. One thing to note is that Dallas, they are so spread out. They know that Sombra wants to get them all together for the EMP, but they are so spread out that it makes it difficult for Sleepy to actually find the targets that he's looking for.
Yeah, EMP does come off. Chips does die to a bomb, and that is before he was able to Valk. Now the goal for Dallas is to buy enough time on the point for Chips to be able to get back out here and get your team back into fighting form. Chips is going to come back out. He preemptively Valks to get out to this point. Has to be careful, though. There's the first resurrection onto Seagull. Now the target selection, very important for San Francisco Shock. They continue to clean up. Baby Bay, untouched, takes down 2.
Yeah, it takes down Chips while he's Valked, so you don't even get the chain healing or the chain damage, and this is where it starts to spin out of control. 2 ticks picked here for San Francisco Shock, and no chance for the challenge. Custa picked out of midair. You got to give it to Dante at the end there. We're glad we were following his perspective. The man just couldn't miss.
It's a glutton of Tracer talent on this roster overall for the San Francisco Shock. Dante has risen to the occasion.
He certainly has. Now he's matching Seagull in terms of stats.
The former Minecraft pro has really built himself a career. I'm sorry.
Got it. Dig, a little dig, 10,000 damage dealt as well. Yeah, Dante certainly doing work right now, but here we get the view of Baby Bay, the flank, and I'm curious to see the Chip Saiyan shot. He did get the kill on Chips. That is disgusting. That is fast. Baby Bay, you have those snipers, right? They can hold angles, you have different styles, but he's clearly one of the more explosive ones who likes to get those flicks off, because that's what, several times now, where you've seen him very quick with the reaction time.
Baby Bay has good aim. Not really a whole lot more to say about that. You put as many hours into the game, and eventually, you don't even have to worry about hitting shots. You're worrying about everything else. The muscle memory is there. Your arm has a brain of its own. Baby Bay's in Mensa. Baby Bay's arm aim.
His arm aim is
Yes.
Mensa. The fingers, all researchers. All right. Each one. So, let's see. I mean, now we get to switch it up again. Dallas Fuel on the offense. We saw how difficult it was for them to get any kind of progress on the first point when they're first on their first try on offense. So now we get to see it. You know, have they made the adjustments necessary? It's not looking like there's going to be much of a change of strategy in terms of comp.
One thing that could work for them is San Francisco's not running a diva to eat these halts. The halts are going to come and try to pull people out, and they're going to try to capitalize on it. Right there, you saw Baby Bay get snagged past the shields. I think it was a huge response from Nomi to reposition his shields to a left side so that Baby Bay didn't get full clipped right there. But that's a strat that could work. Coco pulling people off the edge because there's no diva to eat up this halt.
Baby Bay loves to take risks, though. I mean, come on, man. You know that Effect is holding that angle, and he's still just peeking into it, looking for a kill. There's the Hulk combo once again, though. Baby Bay, however, he gets the poison onto Coco. Chip Saiyan, of course, in position to get the res on their main tank. So Dallas shouldn't be wasting too much time, but now he's going to get clever. Baby Bay looking for the flank, connecting with one shot. He needs to win the duel versus Effect. If he can spot him out right now, he doesn't quite know where Effect is coming from, and it looks like he's going to back off because Effect reigns supreme. Dak and Dante both fall to the Dallas Fuel sniper.
There's going to be no resurrection available for this team, so this is a huge advantage for Dallas' offense. Navix will fall. They will all fall in turn. One kill from Baby Bay, but it does not matter. And now Dallas going to try to snowball this into the next point. Effect has used his infrared sight early, makes me believe that he might want to switch, or maybe it was popped just at the end of that fight, make sure no one was sneaking around to try to stall out the point.
Looked like it for a moment there. There was no stall possible. And yes, they don't have X-ray anymore. Effect, though, keeping his eyes open and staying on the Widow as well. So we'll see if he can find some picks. Nice cancel out there from Mickey, making sure that mine is going to be able to sail in. He misses the second one, but still.
These rafters, girders, whatever they're called, are so difficult to deal with. You have to start running some vertically mobile heroes. Maybe Mickey goes up there and just tries to boot them off and gets out, but Effect has taken down Dante, who was sitting up there. That is one way to knock a bird off its perch.
That's one way, exactly. You can see Seagull, he's fishing with the concussion mine. He doesn't want to give Baby Bay the chance to get in here for the flank. Rift Tire has been used now. And we will have the mirrored, and they will cancel it. No, Dante first, and he catches Seagull first. That's a big kill, and now San Francisco shocked. They should be able to grind this attack to a halt.
You would think so, but Effect is an enormous kill onto Dak post-Valkyrie. Now we'll see if Dallas can actually be able to stabilize this. Unable to continue the push. Not just that, they will catch out a late kill, though, eventually. Or not.
Or not. Seagull, he's desperate, and he is so fed up with Baby Bay. That is so annoying. Baby Bay will not let up, will not give Seagull the chance to set up shop and do what he did in the first half.
San Francisco's very aggressive defense really makes it difficult for an offense to ever feel like they've retreated far enough until they're back into spawn, because they pulled back pretty decently, but here comes San Francisco still. They're on the chase, they're chasing those kills. There's a very good lurk up here from a Tracer. Does have to get out, though, Dante, before he can get there. Actually, that's Baby Bay on the Tracer now, sorry.
Still, Mickey staying alive. He's got the self-destruct. He can try and use it to buy time if he plops it down in the middle of the site, or at least he can hold on to it for a new fresh mech if he needs it. And so sure enough, seems like that's going to be the goal here. Not going. Yes, he finds a kill on Nomi. That's big, but he gets canceled out. Nevix with his own self-destruct finds the kill.
The war of attrition is going to favor the defense. Spawn is right there around the door, looking for a miracle tire. He will get Dante, but not after he is dead. The tire does have a mind of its own even after its pilot is eliminated. One tick onto second point for Dallas's second go of it.
One tick on the second point. Now with how quick and clean San Francisco Shock made it look on the offense now, once again, Dallas pressure is on. But then when you can full hold first point of Eichenwald without giving up a single tick, you know, anything is possible when you switch on to the defense at this point. I'm not calling it over yet, Hex.
The Dallas defense. Big D, I think is what you would be calling that.
Indeed. The BDP as well when you refer to Seagull. So, I mean,
they absolutely have a chance to do this, especially given the strategy that the San Francisco Shocks can employ on the offense. Look, EMP charge is quick, but it is a slower, methodical style. You're waiting for people to take damage, to eat packs, so that you can get your EMP to go around. If by some chance Sleepy in his very aggressive translocates gets caught out by a hook that he can't translocate out of, eats a volley, can't hit that E on time, or the ability to get out in time, that slows them down even more. They have to wait for him to respawn. So there's a chance if they can start throwing a wrench into the gears of San Francisco's style that their first push is going to take a long time, and then that last push, not easy to get a tick. It's a wide open point. It's not like you have to concentrate and clump up. So I would still give Dallas a fighter's chance here.
Certainly. The man that I'm going to be watching, though, is Effect. On Eichenwald, he just stood out on McCree. He dominated the map. Here, however, he's been a bit quiet on Lunar Colony. He's getting a kill here or there, but nothing that's really dictating too much of the fight. So kind of waiting to see for Effect if he's going to be able to, well, we have the trap combo, and already, the point that you made, Hex, going into this was that Sleepy needed to stay alive. He's already gotten clipped.
That's even worse than the situation I was setting up. He's unable to even get in there and start hacking packs, so the rest of his team can't go eat damage. It helps him none at all. The only charge he has on his ultimate EMP, which charges so fast, is his passive charge. That was a disastrous opening for San Francisco.
Now to see if they can bounce back from this, shake it off, and get back into the fight. Sleepy, once again, a man on a mission. The long hook for Mickey. That was a long one there.
Well, Mickey's down there because they know what the strategy is. They don't want that pack to be hacked. They don't want that room to be taken. That's why he was able to take down Sleepy beforehand. So really good preemptive positioning there. They are going to have to rotate and give that up, but they'll take the trade with Baby Bay as well.
And there's the combo. Fishing for the mercy, doesn't matter. Mickey will drop Nomi point blank. Help of his teammates as well. And Seagull now has found some room to work with. He wins the duel versus Dante. And so for San Francisco Shock, they are getting ground down to a halt here.
All right, that's all well and good. Well, this is not necessarily well and good. We'll see if they can pull that off. San Francisco has been playing up to this point for this next fight because they have Valkyrie up because, well, Dak has had to do all the healing because Sleepy's been dead the whole time. Sleepy going down again is brutal. They have to wait another 10 seconds. Maybe you'll have EMP up for them, but this is what I was saying. This style takes a bit to set up, especially you start giving kills away like this. But they're looking for EMP into Valkyrie. They want to take down Chips and Valkyrie of their own if they have to, but EMP is a brutal ultimate. It makes everyone's abilities null and void, and you're able to lock down a Mercy.
It's a silence, effectively. It's a silence. It just blocks out any ability to cast apart from your main weaponry. So now, well, Dallas have also been taking quite a bit of time to charge up their ults, but it looks like Chip Saiyan will finally have his ult to bring to the fray, and so we're gonna have to see, can Sleepy connect with it? Sleepy still has no EMP for this fight, and Seagull again, point blank with the tire, and we're gonna leave you hanging, wondering whether it was a good one or not, because the game is paused. And so probably some kind of tech issue coming up real quick there, but you know, hopefully we'll get back into it fairly soon. I want to see what that tire does.
It's very interesting because often when you have EMP, that's your opening gambit. You open the fight with EMP instead of sending people back. I think the jump in from the Winston there was to distract, to maybe open it up for an EMP on the other side, something along those lines, because generally you want to open up, everyone has no abilities, and then you clean up afterwards. They also preemptively have popped Valkyrie in this situation. They know a tire is out. That tire is very likely going to be looking for the Valkyrie because you can hear that audio cue, and you know that that's the time for your tire to go a-hunting in the skies.
Yeah, I'm still watching. We still have, we have some of the stats, guys. So, you know, taking a look at that real quick. But, yeah, Sleepy still has no EMP. That has just been, I think, one of the slowest EMPs that we've ever seen so far in this league on Lunar Colony. You know, nothing has worked for Sleepy. Sometimes it's just out of your hands, too, where you know, oh, there's a trap, and I'm dead. Oops.
Yeah, I just want to give Dallas all the credit because they knew exactly what that strat was. They saw it before, and then they adjusted to it. So they throw Mickey down there. He's blind firing to reveal the Sombra, then he's hooking her. And Sombra can't get out of stuns. That's why McCree and Roadhog are great against Sombra. Seagull! We're back live, and Siegel with a bomb of the century takes down 3 with that tire, forces both resurrections out already, and now Dallas will pop out their own resurrections, trying to bring everyone back to even.
Exactly right. There you go. Chips had been holding on to it. Sleepy with the MP. Didn't seem like it mattered much because Chips is flying in the skies right now on the wings of an angel. I mean, let's see. This is going to be the big one because you can tell he is obviously, like you said, he obviously wants to try and find Dak. What are the 3 that he gets out of it? Nomi, Nevix, and Dante. I mean, that's tough to beat. That is so tough to beat. Oh, well, obviously the EMP comes in, but Chips had already used his Valk, so the EMP at that point, you're not even keeping the Mercy from the reses.
They started the fight without EMP even available. It was just so strange, the order in which they went about that. Effect ends this next fight before it starts. Dak and Sleepy now gone and out of it. And that's brutal because Sleepy still needs to work his way to an EMP again. Dak will not have Valkyrie up again. Maybe if they take a ton of damage, this stall.
That is so frustrating if you're Nevix. But I'm taking a look real quick at Effect stats, and it's like he's almost doubled them. It's nuts. On this point here, this point defense, Effect has certainly come alive. He's starting to do the damage.
Baby Bay is going to have to get himself in a very aggressive angle right now because Dallas has given up the high ground. They're not going to be peeking angles at all. And now Effect can see through walls. He's going to know exactly where Baby Bay is, so he knows that what sightlines he can and cannot abuse.
Tracking, and what's also useful is a Dante. Oh, the shot doesn't work. In effect, you can see he was getting a little cold feet out there. Doesn't want to be opening it up for Baby Bay, but he'll win the duel regardless. That works just fine.
Next level stuff. Here comes the EMP. It is their last good shot, but a huge volley goes on to Sleepy post EMP. It is nearly all over, but the crying Baby Bay is going to get on 76 just to get back into this fight. Resurrection comes up. Dante trying to do it all himself. Supercharger on the point means that everything is deadly. A water pistol could win this fight.
The only man who's going to be able to do anything here to delay things is Nevix. That was a ballsy mech call. Not going to work. Dante gets overwhelmed. Nobody is close enough to touch this point. They are all too busy rezzing or trying to run in. And Dallas Fuel, it was a tied first map. And they are now up 1-0 after the second. Things are looking up here for the Fuel.
Well, if they have a defensive and offensive coordinator, one of them is going to be considered for the head coach position soon because the defense is much outperforming the offense right now if they can figure out that part of their game. Next week for Fuel, I need a sign in the audience, a D and a fence. Let's bring it.
Yeah, and the chance as well, because clearly that is where they are shining. San Francisco Shock are the ones who are going to have to figure out how to get their heads in the game here, going into map 3. We'll hear from the analysts before then.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
Time. We are back, week 3, and the action continues here in the Blizzard Arena. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Puckett, alongside Sideshow and Reinforce. We're going to break down what we've seen, what happened in games 1 and 2 between the Dallas Fuel and the San Francisco Shock. And let's kick this one off with some highlights as we get right into Eichenwald. This game ended in a draw, but there were some great moments along the way.
There certainly were, but in general, me and Johnny were fairly disappointed with the play coming out from Dallas Fuel.
To say the least.
Yeah, they had a weird game plan coming into this one. You can see the composition that they were running, and San Francisco Shock were able to stop them here for an unbelievable amount of time. I think it was 3 minutes in total, because they're trying to push a high ground with an Orisa and a Hog and a Junkrat. But how do they think this is going to work? And then on the defense, they just get slowly pushed back. To be fair, San Francisco Shock made the most of it, but Dallas had a weird idea coming into this one.
Johnny, I know you like to look at these comps and break it down.
Yeah.
What's the thought process behind the Dallas Fuel's approach?
It has to be that they build around effect on the Maku, of course. I think that they expected San Francisco Shock to bring out the Fair, of course. So then they want effect on the Macri, obviously, to shut down the aerial threat. So you want Seagull to be able to peel for effect, shut down any Tracers, Dante in this case, and shut down any Genjis, and get these kind of big highlights, game-winning kills. But overall, the game plan wasn't as good because we saw Baby Bay swap to a Widowmaker on point B.
Yeah.
And what do you do with a Macri and a
Who
Junkrat
pressures it?
versus a Widowmaker? And then you have a Orisa, so it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, those Orisa orbs are going to go up and maybe pull you off a castle.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened. All right, so game 1 ends in a draw. After watching that first game, who did you feel played better? Because the score is still 0-0 going into game number 2.
Well, I mean, Dallas Fuel didn't play better, but Effect played better.
Yeah, okay.
He just saved them 4 minutes attack.
Sure,
So.
I think in general, San Francisco Shock did play that map better. The problem was when they had that huge amount of time bank to be able to push with, what was it, 4 minutes that they had just to attack Eichenwald point A? They messed it up by playing way too passive themselves. Their first attempt was really good. They got Baby Bay in an aggressive position and really pressured Effect out, so he wasn't able to do anything on the McCree. And, I mean, he had a fantastic performance here as well. But when it came to their time bank push, where they could actually win the map, they somehow, for some reason, decided to play much safer and just had repeated pushes that weren't well executed and allowed Effect so much space to just dunk on Baby Bay across the map.
Yeah, no, I think they acknowledged that Effect was the threat on Dallas Fuel lineup. But the thing was that Dallas Fuel played so well, Kusta and Chip's high-end played so well around Effect, so they repeatedly resurrected Effect all the time. I think if Effect had the highest amount of death in the Dallas Fuel squad with 17, the next best was 13. So they keep resurrecting Effect all the time. Now we have some stats on Baby Bay.
Bringing them back into the action. And this is the battle that we want to continue to see play out. Baby Bay, since day 1, when you watch San Francisco Shock, he was your star DPS player to watch. Effect, we've been watching him now for months and months. One of the best tracers in the game, one of the best hit scan players in the game right now. Game number 1 ended up with a 0-0 tie, but then we load up Horizon, and coming into this one, Sideshow, hit us with the stat. What was San Francisco's previous best showing on this map?
Yeah, San Francisco had only taken, or they had failed to take, in fact, the second tick of point A, and that was against the Shanghai Dragons when they were looking weaker than they are right now as well. So San Francisco Shock coming into this, you've got to think, were the underdogs on Horizon, but again, Dallas Fuel come out with a really weird offensive composition. You can see here they're pushing in overtime because they're trying to use an Orisa Hog offense with a Junkrat. Again, this composition to me, it makes no sense, but they're able just to kind of bludgeon their way through it in the end.
Yeah, and again, of course, it makes sense if you get to the point because you have an Orisa and you have a lot of heroes that are good at pressuring the point and forcing San Francisco to do unusual movements, I'd like to say, force them out of their comfort zone. But why not just play quad tank, which we've seen all the top teams in the league, they play the quad tank with the Moira, and they have a Lucio to speed up the process and get to the point faster, avoid getting picked off. But we just see a slow Orisa comp with a Senyara and Mercy from Dallas Fuel, and so it took so long for them to cap point A. And then on point B, they just did the same process, and they keep getting picked off before they even get to the point in the first place.
We knew this was a weakness for the Shock coming in. Dallas walks away with the victory as we kind of expected, but we're ending halftime with just 1-0 on the scoreboard. You need 3 wins, or at least, well, 2, I guess, if you're going to lock this one up. You can't draw games 3 or 4. How does this one play out in the second half, starting with you, Sideshow?
Well, they've got Ilios coming up next, and that normally is where you see the Pharahs come out to play and the Widowmaker on Ruins. Now, at the moment, Taimu hasn't been in the lineup, and so Effect maybe is going to be picking up the Widowmaker. Who knows what's going to happen there, but I got to give that, at the moment, to San Francisco Shock, because Dallas look like they don't really have a plan for these maps. They're playing so passive.
Yeah, I think you have to put Coco on the Winston. You can't play Orisa on Ilios.
Surely not.
Surely not. So if we see Coco on the Winston, then I think Dallas Fuel has a better chance to begin with. But as it stands, San Francisco Shock is looking like the favorites to take Escort and Control, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair to Dallas Fuel, we've always questioned the compositions they've put together in the past.
That's true.
Sometimes it works out. If we see an Orisa on game number 3, send me your tweets and tell me this is the most ridiculous day in esports history. We've seen 2 game 5s. This one will not go to a game 5, but let us know who you think walks away with the victory. That's it for halftime. When we come back, it's a big game 3 between the Dallas Fuel and the San Francisco Shock.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
This one's gonna get hot.
It is all Dallas right now. Custa coming back in, and on the other side is going to be their opponents, the San Francisco Shock. Taimu coming in, takes a nail biter on Ilios. Harry Hook might be able to win this fight. Sleepy was ready for him. Ooh, that was a close call, man.
All right, welcome back from the break, everybody. We are going to get the 3rd map underway here in just a moment's time. It is going to be the control map. That's always a barn burner, Hex, and it's going to be Ilios as well. So both of these teams, they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Dallas has a lot to be proud of. A lot of stuff still needs a little bit of work. Their defense has been out of this world stellar. Their offense somewhat questionable. Now we're on a map with no offense or defense, so we'll see what they want to run here. But Effect is playing at the top of his game right now. He's been outperforming Baby Bay in a little of these instances. Seagull's had himself a really good match as well, especially on that Junkrat. It'll be interesting to see what Seagull runs here, as Junkrat not necessarily in the meta on Ilios.
Yeah, exactly right. It's worth pointing out that we will not have any subs here for either team going into this third map. And so, yeah, that's they're going to have to stick to their guns here on the Dallas Fuel side, and we're getting to see a lot of playtime here for Seagull. Not something that we've gotten to see too much over the past couple of weeks.
No, he's got a lot of fans and brings a lot of fans to the Dallas team right now, and this is going to be an odd matchup. Seagull does have a Pharah in his pool. I think Baby Base is a little bit better. His Junkrat's his best hero, in my opinion. His Genji's fine, it's serviceable. He can play some hit scan, he's also good at that, but his Junkrat is by far and away his best hero. You're not going to see it here very much. Maybe they go with another tank. He can play a pretty good Roadhog as well. There's a lot of options for Seagull to rotate onto here. Maybe we'll see something unorthodox out of Dallas.
Very curious, as the countdown has begun to get us into the first point, and it's looking like the Pit of Doom to start us off here as the cruise ships go a-sailing by, or motoring by. Let's be precise, I guess.
You've been on a sailboat in the last week. How do you not know that there's not sails on that?
Boat. It's a boat, and I don't think about motor boats. Sails? If it doesn't have sails, I'm not interested. All right, enough said. Countdown is over. We're going to get into the thick of things here, Hex, and let's see who's going to go sailing to victory in just a moment, because everything is on the line now for San Francisco Shock. They have to put a halt to the fuel, or they're going to be going home empty-handed tonight.
All right, meta be damned. Seagull comes out onto the Trash Mouse, the Junkrat extraordinaire. They do want to hold pack room with this, so actually very nice for them as San Francisco went to the other side of things, a complete rotation on both teams. They really want to control that room, but with him in the sky, Baby Bay is going to be able to rain doom on this team as they sit in these corners.
Yeah, you can already see all these rockets. That was a very close call there. Chips on the Mercy already under pressure. He's looking for Seagull, and Seagull gets the mine point blank on Baby Bay. The Hulk combo not quite there, but Mickey follows it up with the Roadhog. That's the start that Dallas were looking for. They should be able to cap this point immediately and start that percentage rolling.
Baby Bay, the anti-Icarus, flew a little too close to the ground and was punished by a mine to the face, unable to keep his air superiority. He will take down Custa here. Now, Effect in control of this now is going to be one of the answers to Baby Bay in the sky, able to get a little pressure on him, maybe make him be more aggressive. Hopefully Seagull's there to chuck some mines at him.
Yeah, waiting for that shield. There we go. Orisa gets the barrier down, and Effect can now have a hidey hole here. There's just plink shots at Baby Bay, and if Effect is allowed to get his groove going, if he's allowed to feel comfortable, we have seen the magic! Unbelievable, he just makes it happen at will. The headshots on Baby Bay. Sure enough, the res will be there though. Sleepy there to pick his teammate back up again. In Effect, not quite connecting this time. Bit too hot to handle, and he will get overwhelmed.
Baby Bay gets doubled down on the healing. He had the Mercy with him and the Orb. Chips is just going to fall into the pits there. A shame that Dallas lost that fight, because there was really cool tech by Effect there. The Winston bubble comes down, he fans the hammer to get rid of the bubble, cracks it open so the rest of his team can do damage. Does a backward somersault to reload right away so he can hit the next shots onto Baby Bay, just one shot away from finishing and turning that fight.
That would have been the decisive moment, you're right. Well, I mean, Baby Bay right now, it's not too comfortable. He is taking a bit of damage, and that Deadeye is in play, and of course Baby has to be worried about that, although this is setting it up. Seagull will find Dante. The High Noon is out from Effect, and that's why Baby Bay's hanging around here on the other side, just waiting for it to wear off. And so Effect more of a zoning play there, and they've made quite a bit of progress here, Dallas Fuel, on turning this point, and they succeed in it in the end.
That zoning ultimate right there. They do drag the Diva over the pit, forcing out that boost. Dak has taken down Mickey in the meantime. San Francisco with a pretty good set of progress here. Resurrections are going to come up and bring a lot of them back to life, but same on the other side of things too. I think keeping Mickey alive is so important. The threat of that hook to all the ground army, they're cleaning up.
There's the whole hog. 2 kills for Mickey. Dante and Nomi ejected, and Baby Bay decides he's had enough of this. Looking for the concuss, not going to get it though.
Well, at 71% and counting, the next fight will very likely take place around 80%. It's pretty much San Francisco Shock's last fight. Chips used a regular resurrection there instead of Valkyrie, a huge advantage on the Valkyrie timing here.
What was that? Baby Bay, he managed to get the knockoff into the pit. Coco knocked into oblivion, and now there's the opening.
And there's no shields to hide behind now, so that's why you see Effect rotating into this corner here. He knows he can't sit behind that Arisen target. Chips is going to use the Valkyrie. No, not even towards the Valkyrie. Effect trying to bring this back by himself. This is not a problem no matter what. They still have a Valkyrie advantage. Maybe they'll stall it and try to bring it out. Effect is trying to kill some people so that they're late back to the point, and that will give Dallas Fuel the de facto numbers advantage.
And yeah, BabyBay just tries to pour on the pressure immediately for that very reason. He needs to delay, and another kill on Coco. That's going to stall things out even further here for Dallas Fuel. Basically, I mean, just ruin all of Effect's good work there at the end of that fight.
In control of the point and in control of the skies is exactly where you want to be if you're San Francisco right now. I would advise BabyBay to not even bother with his Q, because that's a sure death sentence for the most part, especially against a McCree of Effect's caliber. The barrage locks you in place, and that is just 2 headshots and you are gonzo. BabyBay just doing such consistent damage over the top. We'll see if Seagull's tire can change things as it has in previous maps.
This time around, he's not going to be able to get the knockback into the pit, but he does nearly pick up the kill on Chipsayan. Dante hunting for it. He wants to follow up, but he knows that the longer he waits, it's not going to happen. There's the barrage coming through, not really getting anything out of it. Chipsayan will be able to get the res off in time and brings Mickey back into this fight. There's Dante, though, and there's one chop. Looking for a second as well. He's just going to commit to Coco, it looks like, and he gets the follow-up, the dash through Coco in the end to guarantee the kill.
He's able to get out of that. He just throws his blade up so that he can't get shot at. Deflect there, he's able to dash through that. Well, we're not though. We are in overtime, and that is a zoning whole hog. Gonna push everybody away. Just Nomi on the point. He gets flashbang dash through. This tire could end it.
Oh, doesn't get the kill. Somehow Dante survives. He can wipe the sweat off of his brow because that was going to get a bit close. Mickey definitely do not want to get the Angry Monkey too close to you either. Right up in your face. That's no good. We will get the reset as Nomi is able to dash back to safety. Gets the shield down to buy more time here as well. And Mickey, they refuse to give up on this. San Francisco Shock need to keep tapping the point. Nevix has been ejected. Hauled off the map bodily.
Into the pit of despair goes Nevix, and with him, very likely, San Francisco's first stage hopes. Down into the hole. Dallas, one stage away from going up 2-0, which would effectively give them this series win. We drew out the first map. At the end of 4 maps, whoever has the lead wins. If Dallas wins control, they win the series and take that 0 out of the win column.
Exactly. They will actually move up, upgrade, and well, start living up to the reputation that they had coming into this league. Everybody wondering when they were going to get their first win, considering they were considered considering they were one of the favorites going into the league to begin with here. Whereas for the Shock, this map now, the remaining 2 points on control, they have to lock it down. And then we'll go to map 4, and it's all or nothing. So, round has begun.
I want to give a ton of credit to Mickey. There are questions about where does he even rank as far as pure diva players, but now he's shown he can expand his pool. His Roadhog has been something to be reckoned with, and adding a Roadhog into this mix against a Pharah, you just get a little bit more of that chip damage. The alternative fire goes a long way, and it's kind of an anti-air flak cannon.
Exactly, you can extend the range as you saw right there. So it's up close and a little bit at the medium distance. He definitely drops off in the long range fight. But still, Mickey now trying to make his way onto that point. Gonna get that point blank hook, but it's gonna get reflected back at him. No good.
Bless you. You see the composition for Dallas doing so well against Tracers that Dante's standout hero has been replaced by his Genji. As a Tracer, this is a nightmare comp to face. You're facing hooks, you're facing flat cannons in the face, and you're facing those giant flashbangs. Mickey hits another huge hook, Sleepy now out of this fight.
Mickey's loving it, man. When that barrier is still up as well, BabyBay, you can throw rockets all you want. They're not gonna do anything to him. And so 15%, yeah, sorry about that. That was like a surprise sneeze. You know how you get those ninja sneezes? They come through every now and again, all of a sudden it's like, oh, sneeze. Didn't know it's coming, and then it was too late. All right, but now we're back into it. And Dante, he's got the blade. He's gonna be looking for the angle, but he decided to back off that time. Didn't want to commit.
I think he was ready to go in, and then he ate that mine and then knocked him out of it. There was a huge barrage, takes down Chips and Seagull. Chips did not use his Valkyrie though, Sleepy did. So now what Dallas wants to do, get as much percentage as possible. You know you lost that fight. Now they're going to come back in with the support ultimates of their own. Interesting compositions on both sides, but San Francisco has been nudged out of their comfort zone. Dante would rather be on Tracer. Sleepy is usually their flex support. Dak usually going to be their Mercy or even Lucio, so they're all on kind of uncomfortable roles right now.
It's about to get a bit more uncomfortable. It's going to be a good thing for Dallas because they're working on a six-pack and they're about to get it. Coco, all 6 ults now in play. Effect doesn't need it. Picks Dante out of the air. Makes it look easy as well, but Nomi has been able to remove Cust in the meantime. As I say that though, Valk gets popped by Chip Sand, and the Deadeye there to take down Sleepy. That's the big kill that can turn the tide here for Dallas Fuel, pushing on to the point.
I think they would have rather held on to the Valkyrie, but when your other support goes down, you have no choice but to bring your brethren back to life. They will trade in that ultimate from Chips to take the point back over. Now in control, it makes Baby Bay's job that much harder on the far to find the angles and get it in here. Going to be Dallas with the lead. Again, they take this stage, they take the map, they take the set.
McCree, I mean, right now affects ult charge. I'm glad that he was able to use the Deadeye so quickly. I was just thinking this because he's able to farm it up so quickly as well. His average Deadeye is taking him a minute right now to get into play, and there it is. The Dragon Blade, the hack and slash, Seagull in effect, both dead. And Baby Bay there to follow it up, just the icing on the cake. Bunch of rockets to the face, and that'll get the job done. This is a real back and forth struggle that we're witnessing now, Hex. Dallas Fuel just can't seem to hold against the push from San Francisco Shock, but then vice versa.
They've been very decisive fights. San Francisco, I really like that they take the point, then they get off the point. The last thing you want to be is on the point when a whole hog comes in, because you will send people flying over the edge. Baby Bay is going to get a lot of free entry damage here, trying to come over the top. Sleepy has his Valkyrie for this fight. Should be a fight that San Francisco on paper wins, unless you get a big play out of effect like a High Noon. I think Sleepy's in a safe position.
There it is once again, exactly. Baby Bay backing out as well, and so he shouldn't get picked, but somehow Dak gets caught.
Forces the Valkyrie. So yes, you don't kill a Valkyrie Mercy, but they didn't want to use Valkyrie in that fight. They're going to have to burn it, and it doesn't even matter just because Dak stepped out of position for a moment. One more fight, and now they don't have Valk. Chips on the other side of things does. Gonna take him a little bit to get back, and it's gonna be on a razor's edge at 90%. They're gonna try to sneak someone in. You see Diva in the bottom left-hand corner rotating around. That is Mickey. He's gonna try to get on the point, wait for the last second, because he doesn't want to sacrifice himself. He just wants to touch.
Exactly right. He did just that now. Contesting the point. Chip Sand's gonna be able to get back in here. He's popped the mouse to get into the fight even faster, but Dante, he's got the Dragon Blade already. He's hacking and slashing. Seagull with the mines to the face, and somehow Dante, he's getting the heals from his teammate to keep him alive in this fight. Chip Sand will get the reses though. And they are still in this, Dallas Fuel, although just barely.
Chips brings them back to life, and then he puts Sleepy in the grave by himself. A kill that is absolutely enormous. Chips trying to single-handedly win this fight. Effect will help him out. Chips goes down late, but that is going to be an enormous fight for Chips to take down his counterpart towards the end as well. Now, the tables have turned. Gonna be on a razor's edge for San Francisco. They need to get someone onto the point to touch. This is going to be Overwatch in its most basic form. No one with an ultimate at the ready.
Pure chaos is what you mean? That's what we're about to get here. This is gonna get dicey. Mickey is keeping close to that point. Doesn't want to let San Francisco flip it for free, and you want to keep contesting. Seagull from his position just chucking nades in left and right, trying to get onto the high ground or at least take advantage of it, but instead he's going to go charging in, point blank, trying to hit the trap, and he might well get one. The self-destruct will force Dallas off the point just momentarily, but that's not going to last too long, and right now Seagull, if he stays alive in this, he's going to deal so much damage. Sleepy is out, and this is Seagull now just setting up the plays. Kill after kill rains in, and Dallas Fuel, that's it, they've done it. They've broken the streak. They've got a win to their names.
You know when I said that Junkrat's not necessarily meta? First of all, if we could fix that in post, that'd be great. Second of all, there are meta-defining players sometimes where their hero is so good that it does not matter if the map gives you a small disadvantage here or there. Also, his team played around his positioning, especially on the first map there. They played around Pack Room.
Yeah.
It was always in Pack Room. Both of those maps are kind of mirror matches where there is that Pack Room that Seagull can control. And then when you hit just pure shots like him, you can play whatever you want.
First one. Targets. Chase pushing me main, I need help. Chase the Rico. Chase the one. Nice.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
A league that offers opportunity for talented competitors to test and push our assumptions about how the game is meant to be played.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming at you live from Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
Welcome back, everybody, from the break. We're going to get into the final map now between Dallas Fuel and San Francisco Shock. And Dallas Fuel, that's it, Hex. It's possible. It's done. They've done it. They've now got a win to their names.
Got that goose egg off the board. It feels good to get that going. Yes, they are going to have a pretty rough record and maybe not in that stage 1 kind of playoff. I mean, hey, if Overwatch has shown us anything in the last week or so, anything is possible. Any given Owl Day, any team can win, so maybe they can pull it back. They absolutely had to have this set today. It looks like they found something to build on. We, of course, will play our 4th map, and always, you want to build momentum going forward. Dallas wants to keep it strong. This is a map that favors some of their hero pools and some of their heroes. And then San Francisco Shock have to find a way to rebound.
Yeah, they're going to have to get their heads in the game here, and it's all about the team play, the comms, and, well, at this point, working together. So we'll see, you know, is Baby Babe going to be able to gel with the rest of the roster here with Dante and the like? kind of curious to see. They are going to be on the home team, so they'll be on the defense here to start things off, and we can expect. I'm kind of hoping with Seagull in here, you know, that we can get some of the Bastion, but we have seen that, well, like Chip Sand play Bastion for Dallas. We've seen some variety there.
I think it's very likely that Seagull will be playing the Hanzo. It's another one of his kind of niche heroes that he's very good at, and on this map, you do like that sniper crossfire where you got one angle, you got left, you pretty much shut down, you have to sit right in the center. Then the rest of your team's just cracking away at the Orisa shield, pulling people off the bridge. So that has been the meta offense. And then maybe you transition to a Bastion. You can let it up. It depends how that first fight goes. You can also roll a Bastion with this. Custa is teasing me right now because I would love to see Moira come out, and Custa's been one of the guys who plays it a lot. Defensively, this is the roster that we know they're going to run with. Also a very, very standard Junkertown roster or composition.
Indeed, you'll have Dante there to melt the shields as quickly as possible. Baby Bay will be taking the fight to effect, no doubt about that, on the Widow. And then you have the Halt Hook combo between Nomi and Nevix. And so, yes, a lot can happen here for San Francisco Shock. Gonna be curious to see where they decide to put up the defense initially. And it's looking like they may have a Halt Hook combo coming here to start as soon as those doors open. But after that, do they go for the high ground, or do they try and play a little bit more, I guess, standard, what we're starting to see these days, which is pretty far back towards the point?
So Chips used to play the Bastion in this composition. He's going to swap roles with Custa, and I think that's smart because I do think Chips is just so clearly the more calm and focused Mercy. He's been a better Mercy than Custa. I think Custa would agree with me when I'm saying this. Chips is the best Mercy on this roster, and you need a Mercy in this meta right now. So I think this is a very smart switch, however small it is.
No, it's a big deal. I mean, you're talking about one of the very best support players in the world in the shape of Chips. I like that angle from Effect.
Yeah, that right side, I think he got caught on the ledger. Is a little bit odd right now, but it was good for him. They should know that he's still going to be creeping around this side. He's going to try to get aggressive on it. Roadhog on the other team looking for a flank on the left-hand side. He is spotted out. Baby Bay does take down Chips though.
What is that?
When pigs fly, apparently. Baby Bay takes down Chips and Custa though. Seagull will treat him to an arrow, so this fight is not decided just yet.
Not quite. You did have the halt, but it's looking like Mickey is going to go and chuck himself off. Let's take a closer look down there. What all those rocks are looking to look like. He's going to see that in a few seconds.
Explore the Outback, which I think is just full of steakhouses.
And kangaroos. If we're supposed to believe it. That is a sick flank from Baby Bay.
Yeah, they should have seen that coming. I don't know why Custa goes back there to challenge that as a Bastion in that situation. You know you're very likely going to die, but that fight's almost over when Chips gets picked anyway. Defense looking very strong for San Francisco here. They're going to have a small advantage on the Valkyrie. Obviously, they shouldn't pop it to get aggressive. They've got Tyre. Other ults are coming online as well. Dragon is going to be up there. Chips getting close to his own Valkyrie. So I think we're going to see teams stall out here for a second until the ults come online.
And there we go. We have Dragon in play now, and nobody can hide from Effect's sight either. And so that's going to make life a little bit easier here for Seagull. Wondering when he wants to go for the play here. Look at that, he's just waiting for them to group up. He's like, please, just stand together in a nice little row.
Well, they could use it to just cut the team in half, but instead they're going to save it and they're going to take this long angle. We've seen a lot of teams make this rotation. Once you get the cart to a certain place, they're a little worried about the Tyre from Dante. Does find two. Effect just took himself out of it, and so will follow the rest of the Dallas Fuel. That's a great view from the observers.
Yeah, those rocks. See, they got to see him after all. More of them this time. You know what? Mickey went back to the team and spawned. He's like, hey guys, you really got to check this out.
You got to see this geological formation I found.
So, I mean, right now, what's going on here with Dallas? They're getting stalled out. Effect?
Yeah, Effect opened that up with a really nice shot there, and so that's going to give them a small advantage and going to feel pretty safe here. Nevix now out of this fight. He's going to force Dak to use his Valkyrie early to bring Nevix back up, brings his team back to full strength. The counter Valkyrie will very likely come out to bring Seagull back. Effect now down as well, so both the snipers die in quick order. We're evened up 6-6.
Oh, buddy, let's go. Battle Chips. All of them on the table. Not going to get the shot just yet. And in the meantime, his teammates are dying. Chips, you can get frag hunger. You can go and look for kills, but you got to be there to heal your mates as well.
At this point, you have to wonder why Seagull hasn't used this Dragon just yet, just for zoning potential. He very well could have earned his way back up to another one by now, but it's been in his pocket for quite a while, holding on to find the right time. Still, now Dallas being stalled out, and we are nearing only 30 seconds remain. If San Fran can find another one, I heard they like being called San Fran. If they can find another one, they will hold on first point of Junkertown.
with only 30 seconds left here to get onto this first point. Single gonna get picked! No, somehow he's saved. Coco with the quick barrier keeps his archer alive. Still with the Dragon Strike though, and it... Oh! Baby Bay with the deny!
Dragon's going hungry tonight, will not be sated. Still back and forth on the card. Supercharger out. That means Coco and Mickey are supercharged themselves. Dak falls, Nomi falls. Dante's tire does not find pay dirts. Now Dallas continues to roll through. It'd be interesting to see the position Mickey wants to get in because he can lock down a door with Whole Hog. I think San Francisco should just give up this fight. No need to feed onto this card anymore.
They're not going to be able to make it there fast enough, and that's going to be the main deciding factor. But they do have a presence on the high ground. So San Francisco, I mean, if you're Dante right now, that's what you want. You want to be able to just chuck grenades down, out into the open. Costa and Coco making hot chocolate out of the San Francisco Shock right now.
The Shock, in theory, should have had the high ground and a safe high ground at that. They should have gotten behind Nomi's shield. It seemed like they couldn't decide because you saw them rotating back. They wanted to stay up top and maybe contest the cart, and those are slow heroes. They got to go down the stairs, up the other stairs. Did not work out for them, got caught out, and they sacrificed so much position for it. A little odd Dallas is not taking the high ground themselves here, but feel that they're going to be in good position to prevent anyone from coming in on them.
Seems like they just want to keep that presence on the payload no matter what. Costa, there it is! Not going to find the kill, but he will get the follow-up, Baby Bay, with the help of Mickey.
Costa stealing kills there because he'd been hooked. That kill was going to happen anyway, but Costa padding his own stats, forces out the Valkyrie. Overused yet again. Valkyrie eliminated right away. Effect takes down Dak.
Seagull there to capitalize, working with Mickey. They managed to get the kills, and so Chip Saiyan will be able to bring Coco back to life. He's popped his own pair of wings. And so this is Dallas Fuel just moving forward now, and they aren't getting stopped. I mean, San Francisco, they're getting run over.
They would have liked to hold on to that Valkyrie. They probably could have, but that is just nitpicking at this point. When you only have a minute left, you don't want to have something go wrong and then you lose the fight because you were being a little bit too greedy with your economy. So Chips is forgiven for that one. Also, you just saw Dak use his and get punished, so it's a complete reset. You're not going to be behind in the charge.
Oh, exactly right. You can see orbs are getting into it. We do have Custa with the Transcendence, but Sleepy has got his for San Francisco Shock as well. Oh, there it is. The kill to start it all off here. Effect takes down Dante. Effect reigns supreme. 2 kills for him, and I keep glancing over expecting to see a third as well because the man is a monster, but Baby Bay realizes this and goes monster hunting. He's down, he's out, and Chip Saiyan there to get the res on Coco can keep this fight alive here for Dallas.
Dak tried to get a res. He will give his life for it. Dallas should be able to continue pushing. It shows you what an effect has had. I'm sorry, those are the only words to use in that situation. They've made Baby Bay switch to Tracer. Dante is on to Genji. That is to try to find him in the back line because they know that they were not winning this Widow v Widow. It simply wasn't going to happen. Again, they forced San Francisco out of their comfort zone. Dak! My goodness, man.
No, Dak has been having a bit of a tough time in terms of keeping himself alive in these moments. And look at all of the progress that Dallas are making now on this payload. This is getting out of hand. What went from a near full hold to flawless hold at the first point. San Francisco, they're at risk of getting tripled now.
They need some sort of glimmer of hope. Perhaps Baby Bay can do it with a pulse bomb. He does take down Mickey in the back line. That made it started off by the burst of a pulse bomb. You have to cleanly win this last push because look at where these defenders are going to spawn. Costa takes down Baby Bay. There goes Dak again. Seagull abused him. That's on. Busts a tire on the point. Dallas is rolling.
They're looking fantastic at this point. It's down to the 2 tanks here to try and hang in as long as possible. Defense Matrix buying a lot of time, allowing for Baby Bay to make his way back out onto the point. Recall there to keep him alive, and they're not going to be able to touch it in time. Nevix, Nomi getting caught, and that was it. Done and dusted as far as this first half is concerned. Dallas Fuel really stepping it up there at the end.
There's some questions about some teams is when plan A goes wrong, how do you recover from it? When you meet adversity, what is your response? I think it was so indicative of this team that half of them got caught after they gave up first point, because that means half of them didn't get the memo that we're not going to be able to contest. We're not going to be able to get there. They lost 3 people right around the bend to start off first point. Second is a place where you can hold a lot of defenses. You sack first point there so that you get the high ground on second, so that you're set up in position. They did both. That is not an ideal circumstance. It took Dallas no time at all to burn through second. They rode the momentum all the way through. And right now, Effect is the problem for the San Francisco Shock.
He is definitely out of control on this map at least. And Seagull continues to do the damage as that Hanzo. and then the Junkrat later on. I mean, really, Seagull just stands out on Junkrat. It's unbelievable how good he is with this hero. Or villain, I mean, it depends when you talk about Junkrat. I mean, it doesn't, you know, you've seen his video. It's kind of like, I don't know about this guy.
You can't watch that video and not be in love with the character.
Of course.
There's the character and there's the hero. And there's the, you know, the lore that we love and then getting double mind in the face. Those are two different things.
I mean, it just looks like, I mean, Seagull is just saying to himself, you know, he keeps looking like these guys need to be blown up. I got distracted for a second there because I was curious as far as what strategy Shock were going to be running at us. And it's looking like we will be getting, I like this position here from Effect, but it looks like we will be getting the pirate ship.
He might have to grapple again. I'm not sure if he can make that jump or not. He was up there, then slid off, so really cool silo positioning from Effect, who's going to go aggro on this. I like this aggressive hold because it sets you up for another defensive hold. A lot of teams will hold around the bends. We'll see, but the aggressive hold on the defense makes it very difficult to set up where they want to. They want to get the Bastion near and on the cart.
It looks like they figured out where Effect was coming from. So that first pick, not quite going to happen. Mickey removes Sleepy from the fight immediately, though. This is a big play for Mickey. Although Dak will be able to get the res. Chip Saiyan dead. That's a big problem here for Dallas.
I don't think Nevix was aiming at anyone in particular there. He was just throwing the hook out into a clump of people, and he went fishing and found himself a keeper. Takes down Chips in that fight. That is absolutely enormous. But, as I said, the silver lining of this aggressive hold, you'll definitely be able to get out here in a decent position.
Whoa, whoa, this is a duel, and Effect wins it straight up! Baby Bay gonna be shaking his head after that one.
The amazing thing is Dante did not get in there to finish off that kill. Effect then takes Dante down. Effect was at a sliver of health. Nevix doing his best to reel his team back into his fight.
Yes, getting Seagull out of there is a big deal, but Chip Saiyan will be able to get the res up on Seagull, and so we'll have his nades back in the fight yet again. Baby Bay has resed up. Doesn't seem like he quite knows where Effect is coming from, though. Obviously wants to be looking for that target.
Hello there.
Yes,
Attack down, Sleepy down, Nomi down in quick order. So this offense going to be stalled out, at least for now. Baby Bay looking at that sight line. Doesn't seem like Effect wants to dance just yet.
He spotted him then. So we will get the replay here. Seagull and Effect just going to town. Oh, there we go.
Beautiful. Damage boosted early on, finds the angle, then he just runs right through that room, cleaning up with explosives.
That's exactly what he wants to do. And now they have a very solid defensive setup here at Dallas Fuel. Payload is starting to retreat back towards the spawn for San Francisco Shock, and they're sticking together. As I say that, though, Baby Bay gets the pick on Custa, and Custa's out in the middle of nowhere. He's out in the open. Chip Saiyan, you can see, risky play from him to get that res off.
There's very few heroes you would do that for, but Zenyatta is one of them, especially Zenyatta who's got Transcendence, because that's something you should be able to use. Both Valkyries are popped right now. Transcend might be the difference in this fight, as they have theirs while San Francisco does not. That's why you make that risky play. Baby Bay, out of nowhere.
Yeah, games within games there as far as positioning and the mind games as far as where the other Widow went. Chip Saiyan wins the duel versus Baby Bay. This is starting to get a bit out of hand.
I cannot resurrect you, but I can avenge you. Chips goes in and takes down one of the problems. A very scattered fight all around. People are in places that they shouldn't be on both sides, and eventually after that fracas, San Francisco will continue to push. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to get out here, nor do I think they should get out here.
No, this is where we get to see a bit of a difference here in strategy. You can see that Dallas are a bit more grouped up, waiting on the high ground. It seems like they want to set up shop there. Coco is just chugging along. It looked like he wanted to try and at least challenge San Francisco Shock initially. Stop them from just getting into the high ground too comfortably, but his team will be in position to deal with this, it looks like.
Seagull's got to be careful of his angles there. They know exactly where he is. That's a room that Junkrat likes to set up in and deny any sort of flanks that come out from the other side. Well, Baby Bay gets knocked away by the door. Nothing really going his way so far in this map. He's hit some nice shots, and he's not necessarily winning the duel versus Effect, but he's doing enough to make Effect stay honest.
Yes, it feels like in the first half at least. He is having an impact. Dante, though, not expecting Mickey to go fishing from the high ground. And we've lost Dak as well. This is when it starts to spin a bit out of control here for the San Francisco Shock. Dallas Fuel will put a halt to the push. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock here for San Francisco, and they get reset pretty hard.
Well, Baby Bay is off the Widow yet again, gonna go on to Tracer instead. Not ideal because Junkrat and Roadhog are very good against Tracer. Seagull will end Dante's day on Genji. And this is really a test of the mettle for San Francisco. You're now on plan B. How good is your plan B?
And I mean, it definitely has to stand out because this is what you get to see every now and again on the streets portion of this map when the high ground is being held by the defense. They just make your life a living hell. You're trying to work your way through these choke points and you're walking into a Widow, you're walking into a Junkrat, all sorts of hurt.
Being very aggressive out there.
There you go, speak of the devil.
Seagull has been the devil against this team as well. Takes down Mercy, killing Angels left and right as Dak will fall yet again below 2 minutes now. Just trying to bank some ults, and damage boosted nades gonna make entry very, very difficult.
Tremendous amounts of damage. It looked like a bit of a challenge there on the high ground, but it wasn't meant to be. So San Francisco have to keep being patient with this. Seems like they are aware of Baby Bay on the flank. Baby Bay looking to take the fight to effect. He will get caught out, however, and has to give ground, back off and try and get back with his team.
Dante rezzed up again, and he's gonna make his life worthwhile as he takes down Mickey. Dak will also burn his second resurrection on Naomi. Seagull trying to make all that damage worth not. Baby Bay, nice little bait there. He's right in front of the tire, recalls, and makes sure that Seagull does not get to the back line.
And now effect under pressure here. This is what you want to be doing. If you're Nomi, if you're Nevix, keep a bit of pressure on the Widow if you can. Just not let him get too comfortable.
60 seconds.
Well, we've got the Dragon Blade here for Dante. Definitely looking forward to seeing where he decides to use it. He could go diving straight into the mix if he figures out that the squishies are back here, and sure enough he does. But that was the big trap. Seagull is there with the mine to end him.
They were absolutely going to fight there. They have an enormous advantage. They knew that Transcend could mitigate any sort of burst damage that was coming out, at least onto the Zenyatta. Very likely that a Blade's not going to kill his tanks through that burst damage as well. And during that fight victory, they were able to still hold on to Valkyrie. How many times have I said Chip still holds on to Valkyrie? They've been so patient with it. That's why their defense has been so strong. You're pushing into essentially an 8-man team.
That's why Chips is so damn good. He's a god-tier VLC player, and he's pretty damn good in Overwatch too, as far as support is concerned, and this is the reason why he very rarely makes mistakes. Always a step ahead. There's the Yang. Sadly, Mickey, you're not going to be able to kill that guy immediately. Just wait a couple of seconds and get back to him again. But they are trading. Baby Bay has been stuffed by Effect. Sleepy, though, with the volley onto Effect is going to get rid of him, but then not for long because Chips is there with the res.
Chips has them all back to life here, looking for some huge kills. Mickey hits that sweet spot. Alternate fire. The whole hog like a Hawaiian barbecue comes out, and they might be feasting on the enemy and celebrating tonight. Dallas will lock out the San Francisco Shock.
Talk about a turnaround for Dallas Fuel. You're sitting at the bottom of the league, not a win to your name, and then you just sweep the San Francisco Shock to get your first W. 3-0. The first map being a tie, and definitely worth watching as well because Dallas Fuel put up one hell of a defense on the first point of Eichenwald. Mickey loving life, of course, as always.
When does he not? I think they've really figured out some of their issues. I think the support combination they had in today worked best together. Chips may not love playing Mercy, but he played Mercy very, very well. Died a lot less than his counterpart on the other side. Was always very patient. Even when he used some maybe questionable Valkyries, it was right in that situation that he had to. You don't want to go to spawn and leave your team in the lurch with 1 minute remaining. Everyone played very well across the board from this Dallas team. That's what they needed.
Now, it is time to hear what the desk have to say about Dallas Fuel's first victory here in the league. Puckett, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, fellas. We made history tonight. We saw Orisa on Ilios, and it was fantastic. Dallas also walks away with their first regular season victory as they send the San Francisco Shock packing. Welcome back to the desk. Puckett here alongside Sideshow and Reinforce one more time. And real quick, Reinforce, I want you to give me a one-sentence breakdown. What did you think of this series?
I don't know what to tell you. It was okay.
It was okay. That's a three-word breakdown.
It was a sentence.
I love throwing Johnny on the spot. It's my favorite thing on the planet. Johnny, don't worry. I'm going to give you lots of time to talk in just a moment. But the reason I'm hurrying you is because we got to crown our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. It's none other than the Great Hog. Mickey is down on the floor with Zoe.
Yeah. Mickey, everyone. from the Dallas Fuel. Congratulations, you guys did it. You finally got that first win here in the Overwatch League. How do you guys feel?
I mean, I think we did very well in the scrim this week. And then after this, I think we will get a lot better. Keep an eye on us and keep rooting for us, guys.
All right. Now, you had a lot of viewing parties tonight back in Dallas, and generally the past 2 weeks, the people in here and at home have been supporting you. Anything you want to say to your fans?
Can I say I love my fan? I mean, that's a bad word, so I love my fan, and don't forget check in the box. I love you guys, and I hope you guys keep supporting us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mickey. Always a pleasure talking to you. We're going to continue breaking down that game on our analyst desk.
Oh, man, I can't wait to meet Mickey's future wife. She is going to get so many delicious Jack-in-the-Box meals. That's your player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. Big win for Mickey tonight. We didn't see Taimu. Instead, Mickey picking up the slack on the Hog. They're able to get the victory. As we roll some of the highlights here from our games, we came into the half with Dallas up 1-0. That meant they only needed one more win to lock things up. Coming into the control, what did we see?
Well, we saw the Orisa, Roadhog, and McCree composition, of course, and you have to say it worked out pretty flawlessly. They built it around punishing San Francisco Shock's positional mistakes and perhaps their lack of patience. We could see repeatedly Dante on the Genji dashing through the Dallas Fuel lineup and just getting picked by the Junkrat, the Widowmaker, the Roadhog, everything. So they capitalized on San Francisco's poor positioning, and they got the picks needed every time.
Yeah, I think in general, when we saw that composition come out on Ilios, San Francisco Shock were unfortunately not able to crack it. You know, they had Baby Bay above in the sky doing huge amounts of damage from his Pharah, but they couldn't sync up that damage with Dante on Genji and a tank diving in, and so Dallas Fuel just picked them off one by one. And you got to say that Mickey had a hell of a game.
He
Mickey on the
absolutely
Roadhog,
did.
He had a crazy hook percentage. He was playing phenomenally. We've had question marks about this guy before because he didn't look like he was playing aggressively enough. And the few times he played the Roadhog, it was like, why not just put Taimu in there?
There were a few moments on Horizon where we're like, whoa, how do you miss that hook, Mickey?
Eichenwald as well, but he picked it up.
He took a little time to warm up. Would you put him back on that hero in the future?
Yeah, definitely, because the longer that he spends on Roadhog as well, the better that he's going to get, theoretically. So I think that as long as it fits, well, the problem with running Taimu in there is that he doesn't play the Diva, right? So you get more flexibility. You can run other comps if Mickey's playing that hero.
All right, we get a lot more footage from Dallas Fuel. Don't worry. And before we go, I do want to give a big shout out. Max Southside tonight was so packed. Hastro, owner here of the Dallas Fuel, was tweeting the live videos of the craziness. They had to open up a second venue. I know you guys are going wild. Enjoy your celebration tonight. It was your first awesome win in the regular season. But let's look back at the full day. Here's how we started. It went to a Game 5. We knew it was going to be great. No one thought it would be this good, though. Seoul Dynasty finally falling at the hands of Sabiobi in the NYXL. A little bit later, we thought Philadelphia Fusion was going to run away with the series. No, the Dragons fight back. They force a Game 5 and are ever improving. And you just saw, we closed it out. Dallas Fuel, the 3-0 victory now of the San Francisco Shock. And that's huge because Dallas desperately needed these wins for their map count.
They absolutely do. At the moment, they're sat there in the 10th place with one more map win than Shanghai Dragons have. And they've got a tough schedule coming up as well. So if they want to turn it around, and like Mickey was saying, they want to improve and try and aim towards playoff chances, they've still got a hell of a climb.
Johnny, there's so many games to go, and you look at this pack. Who is your favorite? That it's a team currently at 4-2, 3-2, 2-3. Who do you think is going to be on the rise?
Ooh, I'm going to look out for Houston Outlaws, actually. They're a bit on the up and up, you know. They could actually make the playoffs and be one of the surprise teams to, you know, compete with the top 3 teams in the league. So I'm looking out for Tyrong in the pack to get some good games.
That's a huge matchup. Houston Outlaws playing the Gladiators tomorrow. Let's take a look at the full schedule. We open it up bright and early. Dallas, well, take your Ambien now because you need to get up in 8 hours. They will be facing off against the Boston Uprising for our first match of the day. That starts at 11 o'clock. We're going to see both LA teams as a Valiant take on the Mayhem, and a big one at 3 p.m. Gladiators looking for their 3rd victory going up against the 3-2 Houston Outlaws. It's been a fantastic day. We want to thank everyone for tuning in and everyone who showed up to the Blizzard Arena tonight. Get some sleep. We'll see you in the morning as we close out Week 3.